Hey everybody, guess what? We are back. This is African Frame podcast. I'm not alone. I am with Rob Sibeko. He's a writer, he's a director. And do check out his stuff. He has 3 books out. He has June's War. He has Bludgeon Ball, and he also has Heist. So do check them out on Google Play. Very, very cheap. Very, very cheap. I always say get them before he blows up, because when he blows up, it's gonna be like 3,000 and you're not gonna be able to afford them. So get them while they're still cheap. Anyway, I am Mr. Extraordin. If it's the first time you see me, just know that the pretty one is Rob and
Product placement.
this is me, Mr. Extraordin. And then the one that actually has the proof of the book right there, of Rob's book, that's the Lokhala from KC Media. He has 2 podcasts. One is called The Geek Spot, and then the other one is called Nerdgasm. So we talk about all things geeky there, and we also interview people within the geek community. Some of them are actors, some of them are accountants, and all of that. So yeah,
Just finished an episode with a very big guest, so you'll know when it is. But yeah.
So the one who just commented
Soon and
now
very soon.
is Buckmeister Cool from Meister Geek Media and Buckmeister Cool Reacts. Recast T'Challa campaign. He's been pushing that for a very long time. He also has a Black Panther fan comic, which is on Tapas. If you know, Tapas is basically a web comic platform.
Tapas.
Tapas.
Whatever you want to call it, because different languages, different pronunciations. Anyway, but he also has a new channel out called Meister Geek Music, right? Meister Media. Meister
Man Music.
Meister Man Music. Yeah. So if you want,
hopefully
his musical talent.
Corona makes you lose control is gonna drop soon. Gonna go triple platinum.
Yeah.
It's gonna go so platinum, it's gonna make the original look like triple copper.
Anyway, before we continue, don't forget to like and subscribe, and do share some of the best videos that you find entertaining on our channel with your loved ones, so that we can get more exposure from whoever might be liking films, because we're doing it for you guys. This is for you. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about Boys in the Hood. This is a very iconic movie, one of the best hood movies. I think it's not even a debate. Directed by John Singleton. John Singleton has also directed Too Fast, Too Furious, for those who remember.
Too Fast for you.
Yeah, he also did Snowfall. You know, that's the project that he worked on heavily before
he's really good with these hood things.
He passed away. Yeah, I guess you could say that was his signature thing, kind of like with Martin Scorsese and mafia movies. John Singleton was the one with hood movies and things like that. He also did Higher Learning and Poetic Justice with Tupac and Janet Jackson. So he's the guy. He also did Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson that came out in the early 2000s. So yeah, he is a very prominent figure. I mean, he did this movie in his early 20s. He directed this movie in his early 20s. And you could say that he was inspired by his own life when he made this movie, because Dope Boy, for example, is based on his actual friend. He had a friend that was like, a bit chubby and stuff like that. He was also inspired by Rob Reiner, the late Rob Reiner. May his soul rest in peace. He just passed recently. The guy who made movies such as Stand By Me and also You Can Handle the Truth, A Few Good Men. He was also an actor. He was in New Girl as Zooey Deschanel's father, or Jess's father. So yeah, before we get into it, just remember that African Frame, what we do here, we dissect movies, okay? So we look at a movie and we dissect it, line by line, scene by scene, and all of that. So what I was just giving you guys now was just
I'd like to, can I just quickly add, sorry to interrupt, but I just want to quickly add, did you hear that, kids? It's called dissection. It's not summarization. Okay. Big 2 words, totally different meanings.
Yeah.
So if you want summarized, this is not your plate cover. If you want,
Yeah. There's people out there that did 9-minute videos on this one. This was going to be a 2-hour discussion. Just prepare yourself. Get your popcorns. Get
popcorn
your
ready.
water.
Get your. I know you're listening. Some of us are not even looking at us. You've got your headphones on. You're busy doing your work and stuff. Go on, enjoy it with us. Listen to the wisdom we will be sharing and the cacophony of chaos that shall
Okay,
follow.
but one thing I gotta ask though, before we actually get to Rob's list, because Rob is the one who's gonna guide us through this thing. But I gotta ask, they did not match Cuba Gooding Jr. and the kid that they showed in the beginning.
No, they definitely
That Trey as a kid and Cuba Gooding Jr. I was like, did he get lighter as he grew up?
Yeah, the casting there was horrible. But there's just a few things I want to say before Rob comes in, because I'm the trivia guy, for those that might not know. So this movie came out in 1991, right?
Yeah.
To be specific, in California, or rather Los Angeles, it came out in July, but the rest of the United States, it came out. So it came out on the 2nd of July in Los Angeles, but the rest of the United States was the 12th, so 10 days later. It had a budget of between 5.7 to 6.5 million and made 57.5 million at the box office.
Oh, so it killed.
It killed. At that time, that is a very healthy return.
And also,
that was...
John Singleton had a knack of finding people who he believed had potential to be more than just what they were at the time. So Ice Cube was just a rapper at the time and a songwriter. He's the one that approached him to play Doughboy in Boyz n the Hood. And he didn't just do that with Ice Cube. He also got Busta Rhymes in Higher Learning, for example. Cuba Gooding Jr. He also got Nia Long to be in this movie. I think it was her first film feature, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is Boyz n the Hood Nia Long's first movie?
If I'm not mistaken, yes, I believe so. I heard that earlier on, actually. So he has a knack of doing stuff like that. Tyrese and Ludacris, for them to be in the Fast and Furious franchise, was because of John Singleton, because he's the one that recruited them for Too Fast and Too Furious. You know what I mean? And also, if you guys remember, he did Baby Boy with Tyrese. And that movie is also iconic. So yeah, John Singleton just has this knack of scouting talent, and he's looking at people who are more than just what they thought they were, because they just thought themselves as musicians or artists or whatever, but he made them actors. Ludacris has a Star Walk of Fame because of movies, not because of his music career. So yeah, Bob's
so he's the guy who sensed your true potential. He was basically he's the guru,
the super coming guru.
The super coming guru. He pulls out your inner power.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Before, this is my parting shot. Angela Bassett, Regina King, and Lawrence Fishburne are also in this movie. So yeah.
Yes,
no, this movie was Lawrence Fishburne auditioning for Morpheus.
No, I feel like the Wachowskis saw this and they were like, we need this.
They saw this and it's Morpheus. That's him.
We're not gonna call him Furious. We're just gonna call him Morpheus. Let's just find something that sounds like Furious.
No, More Furious. No, like originally the name was More Furious, and they were like, no, we can't do that. Morpheus.
We can't do this.
To me, I feel like you guys do know those like headcanon things that people do, like where they do the conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Where they're like, is it me or does anyone remember Apocalypse Now? You know, Lawrence Fishburne is in there.
He was
like a teenager that's in the war. And all I'm saying is, in this movie, they say I was in Vietnam. So all I'm saying is, what if this is? And remember, he faked exactly. So even if he had a different name there, just remember this. Remember in the movie, he was too young to be a soldier, so he had to fake his age and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So what if he didn't just fake his age, faked his name as well? And then went to Vietnam, and he was like, yo, this isn't working out for Black people. And then came back home to the hood.
I think what people don't know about Lawrence Fishburne is that he's been acting since he was like in primary school level. Like he's been a child actor. Like he's been acting since he was a child. That's what people don't know.
He's one of the lucky ones, because when it comes to child actors, they hire them because number one, they're short, and number two, they tend to keep their kid's face. The problem is when you keep your kid's face for a long time, when you grow up, you still look like a kid. So a lot of child actors end up looking weird as adults, and it doesn't work out for them as artists.
They still play high school teens, even though they are 40.
Exactly. Like the Miley Cyrus guy, that guy's like, yeah.
There was this show that used to play, and it was supposed to be based on a bunch of teenagers in the East Coast. And when you look at it, like, you all look 30.
What is I think the people who have got it right, just another sidebar before we actually start. I think the people who have got it right is the K-dramas, because they also don't care. What they do is they'll take these 30-year-old actors and put them in school uniform and just be like, they're kids now. But then what they'll do is everyone else around them is also 30. So you can at least pretend. The whole school is 30, so you can at least pretend. What Hollywood will do is they'll take a 30-year-old dude and place him right next to 12-year-olds, and you'll be like, "What is happening here?"
Yeah. Speaking of that, Lawrence Fishburne is like 7 years older than Cuba Gooding, and he plays his dad in this.
I was like,
that's amazing.
But it was so convincing that we all bought it.
No, I mean, look, for me, when I saw Cuba in this, I was like, are you supposed to be 18? Because you do not look 18, my dude. Like, this is...
Hell no. Yeah.
But, okay. But I was like, also, maybe I was just like, hey, living in the hood, maybe it ages you. So, who knows?
Yes, in this movie, yes.
But anyway, let's get started, Rob. I think let's jump into this. We're going to preamble for forever.
Yeah. Melanin has an expiry date. Okay, we ready?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Yes. Sure. All right, cool. Boyz in the Hood. All right. So we start.
By the way, sorry,
logo.
Rob. You're gonna kill me for this. The title of the movie is based on the song by Ice Cube, which he did with NWA called Boyz in the Hood.
Oh.
So it's like a full circle moment for Ice Cube, if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah,
it makes sense because that criminal looks like Easy E, so I feel like that was on purpose. But I'll get to that later. Yeah. So anyway, the logo is still on the screen, and we already start to hear dialogue. We start to hear the atmosphere of the storyline. We start with the threat of violence, and a drive-by as a title logo shows on, and we start to hear screams. We also get a reference that a 21-year-old black man will be, we get a reference that 21 black men will be murdered, mostly at the hands of other black men. 1
out of 20.
1 in 21.
Yeah.
1 in 21. Yeah. But most of them being murdered at the hands of other black men. We also get a big-ass stop sign right after that as we zoom in on a giant, which is a very clear message. There will be no subtlety here.
I didn't see that until you mentioned it now. So just means
after the title call and that we get that huge sign in our face before they transition to the kids.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. They try to be like, stop the violence. Yeah.
Right.
We open on some kids walking, and we get a great tracking shot of the street with a one-way sign, which I feel like is a message as well. But anyway, the kids are talking about the shooting, and as we do this great tracking shot, we're just following these kids across. It's beautiful. They're talking,
John Singleton, I think, especially when he's doing these hood movies. I'm not a film critic. I'm an internet celebrity man. But
like millions of followers.
Yes, but what I'll say is that I think he's one of the few directors, especially at this time with these type of movies. He's one of the few directors that can take a hammer to your head and it doesn't feel overhanded, if you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
It doesn't feel ham-fisted. Like he knows what he wants to say and he knows what he wants to hit you with in your face. But you don't feel like he's preaching to you, if you get what I'm saying. Which is like, that's an amazing skill of a director that I'm like, how did Hollywood lose the ability to do that? I think the last person who can do that is Spike. And even Spike is faltering nowadays, from what I know.
Oh, no, the Spike has lost the edge, man. But I actually agree with you. I mean, there's literally a scene in this movie where this man is literally preaching, and you still don't feel it. So I agree with you there, but we'll get there. Absolutely. So yeah, they're talking about seeing a dead body, which gave me very strong Stand By Me vibes, but that's just the start.
Yeah, I mean, he
we
was
get
inspired by Stand By Me. That's why I mentioned the director of Stand By Me. He was very much inspired by Stand By Me. Yeah,
exactly.
and he does that twice.
So we get
actually he
Sorry?
does it 3 times.
Yes, I'm gonna get yes. I can't. You have to tell me the third time because I only mentioned two, but we get I think it's the third one. Anyway, the kids are talking about the shooting, and as we're gonna go see the crime scene, we get another big message as we get a nice big poster of John Wayne covered in bullets.
Not John Wayne.
The message, of course, being
that's not John Wayne.
Pretty sure it's John Wayne.
No, that's the president of the 80s. What's his name again?
It's not Reagan.
Nixon.
It's Reagan.
Oh, is it Reagan?
No,
it's Ronald Reagan.
That's John Wayne, bro. John Wayne, the cowboy.
No, that was Ronald Reagan.
Remember, 80s, yes.
Ronald Reagan was an actor before he became president.
Yes, with Monkey. He acted with a monkey in a comedy, yes.
And he did westerns as well at a point, I think.
I'm telling you, that is... I want to fight this one. I'm telling you, that's John Wayne. That's not Ronald Reagan.
That's fine. That was Ronald Reagan.
Okay. Kids, look at me. Kids, look at me. Mom, Dad and Dad are busy having a grown-up conversation right now. They're busy having. Don't pay attention to them. Look at me. La, 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 la. They're not. Don't get sad. Arguments are part of a grown-up conversation, kids. Okay.
Test your trivia. Test your trivia. Trivia combat.
Ignore the drunk uncle over there.
Okay, I lose. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. It's Ronald Reagan. Okay, fine. It is Ronald Reagan.
You lose.
You win.
To quote a friend of mine, what he said a while back, I promise you guys, we are all sober here.
I'm not. I am not.
I mean,
not if I can help
even
it.
the poster is written Reagan Bush 84. I think that's during the.
Okay, yeah, 80, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway,
the message is basically, cowboys and stuff like that. This idea, because you get the idea, maybe this is like a Wild Wild West something. Anyway, we see blood and the meat of the leftovers of someone that got hit by the drive-by shooting. The whole time, the kids.
Yeah, you get to see bits and pieces. You also get to see a lot of the they even show the blood trail and some of the blood turning yellow.
It was pretty brutal.
This is another thing, and this is another thing that's like a brilliant piece of writing and directing anyway. Is that there's one kid. Well, first off, the kid goes, "You want to see something?" And then they're like, "What?" And it's like, "I'm not going to tell you. Do you want to see?" And then he takes him to the dead body, and then one of the kids is just like, what's this? You've never seen a dead body before, or whatever. And it's like, well, at least I know my times tables, but why is the blood turning yellow? And he's like, that's because the plasma is shedding from what was it? Plasma is shedding from the hemoglobin or something. Like the platelets are separating or whatever.
Yeah. Thank you. I was like plasma. I was like
and it's to show that these kids are so used to murder that they can break down murder better than they can break down their times table.
I'm sure the biology teacher should have been there because he's doing a good job.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's just a crazy thing to think about. That these kids are intelligent, but the things that they're learning in school they're not retaining, but the things that they're learning via the
life
horror and terrors that they're seeing in their real life.
Exactly.
They're able to actually break that down on a biological level, which is
I was waiting for the next one. Okay, now that the places are separated, we can take the red blood cells because the red blood cells are utterly useless. They don't possess any DNA for you to track. What you want are the neutrophils. You see, this is the white blood cells full of DNA. Delicious things to track with people.
All of a sudden, they in lab coats. It's like, damn.
that would have made gang violence very interesting in those days if there was explaining stuff like that.
It's like Gin from Bleach and the Aranka. There's just a nigga explaining the gangs in the shooting. Yeah. Gang die Jaka.
It's just a ballistics expert explaining how the bullet came into the door. Yeah, Mama Doka said you see the angle of the gun was like this, and then you're like, what the hell?
Because they make all this stuff educational.
By the whole,
makes sense.
It looks like they use the desert.
I've got a ruler. Suddenly the kids are holding a ruler like, okay, as you can see, this type of entry is done by a hollow point bullet. As you can see, the point of entry is very slim, but at the back here, not only did it bounce around and cause extra damage, it obliterated the blade as it flew out. This is an example.
Yeah,
I'm just 6
only
years
African
old.
frame can we joke about murder like this. But anyway, Rob, please continue.
All right.
Cool. Anyway, yeah, the whole time the kids are wandering around like it's normal, which we just went into. Then the scene ends on a look of the young version of, well, Trey, staring at the whole situation.
Who looks nothing
now,
like
personally, I consider this to be a great.
It actually looks like it actually looks like Omar Epps, that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say Morris Chestnut.
Also, just another question. Does he have like a Jedi rat tail at the back?
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually the Coming to America thing, but yes.
Oh, is that where it's from?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a hairstyle then. Oh, okay. Because I was like, I thought they would have roasted this kid to oblivion for this the Jedi tail at the back.
I think back then it was acceptable because Eddie Murphy was a big deal, and he was portraying a prince from Africa. So
yeah, I think that's actually relevant. Yes. So yeah. Anyway, this is a great scene altogether. Though even I have to admit, there's a lot going on in the scene, but at the same time, I love the idea of the great set design and challenging the idea of simplicity. Even if there's one pattern of old school, filmmaking that I like, it's the ability to use every single camera angle, no matter how subtle or unsubtle, to convey a message. If you think about it, it's almost like the anti-Roger Deakins. For those who don't know, Roger Deakins, a famous cinematographer. Roger Deakins often speaks about not noticing a scene. So what he'll say is that he wants you to experience it, but not to notice his work. So he must be invisible in the shot. Whereas this one, you absolutely notice everything that's happening. This cameraman is doing the most, and you can feel it. And that's definitely something that doesn't exist anymore in new movies, but absolutely exists in old movies. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I think in Spike Lee's earlier work, you could see stuff like that where he would show you something specific. Yeah.
Yeah. Where they cut to a guy doing a straight zoom in, a dolly zoom, and then he'd be like, and he just basically tell you things straight. Exactly. Stuff like that is absolutely stuff that you don't see today. Now everyone's got muted colors. It's all a shade of green or brown. And it's like, that's another thing.
Well, I mean, it also depends on the location. If you're in Mexico, it's orange as hell. If you're in Africa.
And let's not forget the Saudi Arabian Egyptian filter with the
there's always some random woman wailing in the background and sounding like she's getting stabbed in a dramatic slow motion fashion.
And there's a ridiculously attractive Middle Eastern woman who's not veiled. All the other women are like this, but she's the only one who's.
Yeah, don't forget about the comedian the black comedy. Yo, it's hot as hell in here, man.
It's hot as hell in here. What are we doing?
And then we're also forgetting the random harp, or there'll be a random string guitar in the background. As the
you can tell that they were lost here. We don't do this normally.
Okay, to the next scene.
So you're telling me I am the problem. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
I am the problem.
Next scene.
Next time you complain, I will tell you that they have done the things that will not make the post to be done. Yeah. That's what gonna be.
Okay, new scene. The new scene continues what we did with the old scene, and it starts with a strong image of the kids' drawings of their normal lives. Immediately in the drawings, we see cops in a helicopter. We see cops arresting people. This is their daily lives. This is what these kids are living through. This is what they have to deal with, because they are a caged people. They're in a zoo almost. They're caged people. That's kind of the image you get.
I just want to add something to that. What the teacher was teaching the kids versus while us seeing these drawings was so amazing to me, because John Singleton is like, you should be teaching these kids exactly what's happening now, but you're busy giving them a syllabus about something that is not even relatable to what's happening to them at the moment. You know,
Also lying to their faces like 9-9.
yeah, telling them about Thanksgiving and pilgrims and Native Americans. Meanwhile, these people are dealing with drive-bys and police brutality and all of that. Like, rather talk about that. You know?
I think that's I think I'd also take it a step further, but in the opposite direction.
Okay.
Because teaching, in my teaching has to do two important factors. One is to educate about the current situation, but two is also to inspire the next steps of change.
Yeah.
It's so you need to give them a bigger dream. And you need to educate that capacity to dream bigger than the circumstances they find themselves in right now. And it will not happen if you're going on about the pilgrims came and then they gave
but I'm even saying, like, even if you're talking about like, first off, just lying to kids in general, just bold face, like the pilgrims. Oh, that's what we call them. Okay. That's not what they were doing.
we can't back then they weren't used to the C word as yet. Now it's a very common word. Back then we could not say the colonoscopy without getting
it rhymes with womanizer.
And like, I think the thing is though is that when you're teaching stuff like that, I think, because in terms of education and all of that stuff, what that teacher is doing there is she's teaching that these people came with their ways, and because they were so amazing, the natives just gave up land and all of that.
She's diluting
and I'm saying, and if you relate that to what's happening in the hood, it's that whole idea of because the white people are not there, or because these people don't listen to the white people, they don't have the
don't have a white
savior
savior.
the white people had. So that's why they're in disrepute. Because remember, the teacher even has to make the distinction between Indians and Native Americans. But it's also just proof that the way they teach to these kids is they teach these kids successes out there. It's not here. And then that's why when Trey is giving them attitude, the teacher has a problem with Trey because Trey is not buying into what she's saying.
Yeah. By the way,
definitely.
that actually happened in John Singleton's real life. He had an incident with a teacher, for real. Then he left, after that incident, he left school that day. And then the guy who's inspired by Doughboy told him, no, you're not gonna drop out of school. Let's go to my school, and then you can go to that school. And then that's how he went to that new school. He just went with that kid, his friend, and then registered at that school, and then started going to that school.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm getting a hit of flashbacks because I remember getting kicked out of class first grade. And I think it was in the first month of my first grade of school, and I got kicked out of class because I said something racially charged.
Anyway, sorry, Rob, you were saying?
I told my white teacher that she's not white. You're pink. That's not white. I know my colors.
Did you just read Steve Biko? What happened to you? You just read write what I like.
And then he's like, what color are you? Do you see this? This color looks brown to me. And this is the color I'm using to paint me. So I'm gonna paint you. This pink color right there. Get out of my class.
They left the house screaming Amandla for some reason, and everybody was like, "What's going on?" Sorry, you were saying something there, Rob.
I'm sure it wasn't important. Okay.
Wow.
Moving on.
You were talking about the drawings.
Oh the drawings and
okay, cool. Sure. Pilgrims. So anyway, Trey turns out to be the class clown as he makes a joke in the class. And then he gets pulled up and gets told to speak. And then he talks about African heritage, which ironically leads to another class clown basically speaking up against him. And of course Trey, it's interesting. But Trey basically goes up against him.
Yeah, I gotta ask this thing. Like, Americans, if you're watching this, like, please just put down in the comments section. I gotta know this whole African booty scratcher thing. Like, it's always hilarious to me when other Black Americans will call other Black Americans that, because I'm just like, Huh? Like if I'm from Africa, I
wow.
understand Inyana. I mean, it's not. It doesn't make it better, no, but I understand. But I'm like, Kante, you guys are neighbors. I don't
I
understand.
think there's a
Like,
lot of things.
If he's an African booty scratcher, so are you.
There's a lot of
By
things.
virtue of proximity.
There's a lot of
It's
things I think we'll never
internalized.
understand. For instance, Ryan Coogler, when he came to South Africa while he was doing research for the first Black Panther movie, he was actually encouraged by the women here to eat watermelon. They told him, eat this. Like, this is actually good for you. What's your problem? Because in America, it's a problem that side. So it's like he was being sort of like he was unlearning certain things that he thought was bad. Meanwhile, like the people from Africa, where he originates from, or his ancestors originate from, are telling him there's nothing wrong with this thing.
It's that's like I don't know if it's a term, but I think it's like internalized racism.
Something like that. No,
because you would judge.
Because I've seen this in like real life with adults, where adults will be roasting each other or whatever, and African booty scratcher will come out, and I'm like, but you guys are neighbors. So what exactly are you trying to say? I don't understand. Like if I'm there in America and you call me that, still
that's the world, bro.
But whatever.
That's the world.
That's how internalized. I mean, in the same context, Rob would be given more space, more leeway as an individual because his complexion is lighter than everyone else here in the room. That's how.
Yeah, and then also on the flip side, Rob will go somewhere and people will be extra mean to him because of his
because of his other black people then start hating on him because he's light skinned, and now this whole light skin hate that you see on Twitter and everything it's just a symptom of the disease. I'm thinking.
I mean, cultural briefs kind of spreads even to people that look exactly the same. I mean, who look similar to each other. Like, for example, the famous Bruce Lee movie with the sign that says no Chinese, no dogs and no Chinese allowed. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's they will think of the Chinese as booty scratchers, and it's like, what the fuck, man? I mean, the Japanese will think of the Chinese. You know what I mean? It's that whole thing. Yeah, it's crazy that we can all convince each other of this shit, man. It's all crazy, man.
It's an illness.
I always find it interesting when that's a particular insult from a Black American to another Black American, because I'm just like, okay, it's just it always weirds me out a little bit. But anyway,
yeah, no, 100%. But anyway, so anyway, we talk about the world's African heritage, let's be significant, which immediately leads to a fight and a suspension.
I'm like, is he fighting his friend? Because this is the
same friend.
That's the same kid we saw earlier on when they were looking at the body.
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But hey, man,
the way they were talking, that's not how you talk to your friends, dog. At least I have a daddy, motherfucker. Ooh, what?
Excuse me, what? Oh no, those are fighting words.
Oh yeah, that was deep for small kids.
I don't remember cussing that much at that age. Like, I think I was like 13 and I had to hide in a corner for my first swear word.
But I guess also think about it. This was around the time where hip hop was changing from being educational to now being like gangster. Like there was a whole gangster.
Oh yeah, the NWA birth. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So yeah. What I loved about this is that it's truly efficient writing because it does a lot of extreme heavy lifting. There's a lot of heavy lifting that's happening here. There's also this like visual heavy lifting that people don't really talk about. And that's kind of, this is going to sound crazy, but the ineffectiveness of women in the story so far. Now, the kids in the story are a mix of boys and girls, but you see the female teacher unable to control the boys. You see both the boys mention their big brother and their father as references to strength and knowledge. And Trey's mother is literally studying for her master's. She's literally like highly studied, but he references his father as a point of knowledge surety by saying, my father says, as soon as anything related to his father's wisdom is questioned, he becomes violent. Meanwhile, again, his mother is this.
And you know what's so funny about what you just said? Usually in other work, like in other movies, it would be a father who either passed away or is in jail that makes a kid that violent.
Yeah, and
that
also
trigger
on the
happy.
flip side, it'll be in other works where it'll be the mother's wisdom that gets referenced all the time, and the
Exactly.
mother's wisdom that has to get defended all the time. This was a
Exactly.
good subversion
Yeah,
of
it's
that
just
trope.
it's profoundly unique.
It's profoundly unique, but it's also quite accurate because if you pay attention, well, oh, yeah, you're going to psychology. Anyway, kids are younger than the preteens. Basically, they tend to idolize the same gendered parents, especially if the same gendered parents is not that often in the house. So they'll still look up to dad, even though dad's not around, because dad is actually showing the prototype of being a man. So if I'm going to become a man, I need to emulate this type of person. Mom's always there. Mom is the constant. Mom can espouse great wisdom and hard work ethic, but at the same time can also espouse punishment, torture, retribution, the concept of consequences. There's that cool person that I'm trying to be like. So they'll try to emulate that up until teenagerhood. Then it almost inevitably flips. Dad is not here. I need him. Mom's always here. She's struggling. I can see her struggles now. And now that's where it goes from extreme like to I hate this man with any fiber of my being. Because
100%.
Why aren't you taking care of this fair woman?
No, that's true, man. That's actually very deep. No, dude. So that's why I say yeah.
Oh.
No,
I like the subversion that you mentioned, but I also like the fact that subversion is actually a mirror to what is commonly happening in society in that day and time. And I could argue it hasn't even changed that much today, but that's something for a different type of podcast, and I'm definitely not alpha male enough for me to argue that. So let's move along, kids.
Yeah. Well, that was beautiful, man. Let me okay, no, that was great. Cool. I'm gonna carry on, but anyway, there ironically is the second failure when it comes to the mother. The mother is talked down to by the same teacher, despite her high intelligence, which is its own deep message within the story. It gave me some very Boondocks vibes. This gave me very Boondocks vibes. You know what I mean?
Everybody hates Chris as well. If you remember Chris's teacher.
Oh, yes. If everybody hates Chris, that teacher, yes, that's a great one.
Yeah.
And after showing them she did.
I was thinking it's the same teacher that seems to be very, very
racist.
Like profoundly racist, but wants to help black people. But it's still profoundly, incredibly racist. But she really wants to help.
I think, to me, sometimes I feel like that's the worst form of it, when you're trying to be helpful, but you're making things worse.
Yeah.
Why those kids. That's why she couldn't control those kids in. Had you put a black woman in that situation, she would have been able to sit Trey and his friend down. But because she's just
potentially,
she's not treating them like kids. She's treating them like radioactive waste. As you can see, she's trying not to touch them.
Yeah, you must clap. Try that nonsense in South Africa. See what happens.
Actually, we're gonna get into that. We'll see if that's true. We're gonna see that later on with what you said. Hold on to what you said. Actually, that was fascinating. But where was I? I mentioned that. To the mother. Okay, after
subversion though. Here's another subversion. As Trey walks in, I thought it was KO. Like when she went to the cupboard, I was expecting a belt. I was expecting
some dishcloth or something.
I was expecting fire. She comes with a paper. I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that. Exactly.
That's not South African, Baba.
Yeah, it's very strange. She's hard on the teacher. She's hard. She shuts the teacher down for the failure of school. And then she talks to him as he's just gotten in after being suspended for 3 days. Now by the way, that whole phone call, the dialogue was doing multiple different things. Number one, we realize that the mother and the father are both revolutionaries. Do you know what I mean? They're very strong black people. We realize they're highly intelligent. We realize he's suspended. Basic phone call, 100% feels natural. And yet it's done so many things that modern day storytelling doesn't do anymore.
Also, I think it introduces us to what's about to happen next. You and I like talking about and then. So now it's she's also telling us, the audience, that this kid is no longer going to that school because he's gonna go to live with his dad.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also you find out through that phone conversation as well that they're divorced. Yeah. I was like, oh, so they're not together. They're not living together. Because you know, sometimes what movies will do is they'll just show the mom on the phone, and then the dad will walk into the kitchen, barely hanging out, drinking milk out the fridge or whatever. Especially sitcoms or like, you know, modern Western movies where they have to show the dad is the cool one and the mom is the strict one, whatever.
Yeah. No, 100%.
From that conversation, I was like, oh, she's not with him anymore. And that's also a very important thing because, like, what this movie did is it showed a version of co-parenting that I've not seen in modern movies, I think, since.
It was real.
At least not in black ones.
Yeah,
the co-parenting of the...
It was real,
yeah, but the white ones do that.
It was real, but what they were doing was that they still managed to prioritize the kid, if you get what I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah, you never see that in black stuff, dude.
Like, I'm saying, like, Trey is still together. In other films, this would be complete disaster. Trey would be Doughboy in other films.
Oh yeah.
If I remember correctly, this is also slightly semi-biographical because John Singleton's dad were divorced in real life.
Okay. But yeah, and you get to really feel, that's why people say write what you know. But anyway, we are very naturally finding out the mother's living with the father. Yeah, like you guys said. Trey comes home, gets lectured about his brother, about his agreement with his mother. A child with a contract. Now, that can be seen in three ways. A failure in intellectualism, intellectualism against reality, or a failure in like motherhood without a father to enforce, or both. And I think there's like this like open window there for like an option of how you can see the failure here. And I love how open it is and how clear it is. I think this is some of the tightest, cleanest storytelling of the whole movie, actually. I would say this and maybe two more scenes are some of the best of the actual entire movie, but we'll get into that.
There's something
and by the way, it's...
sorry.
I was going to say that it's only been 7 minutes. We're not even at the 8-minute mark yet. Okay, now carry on.
There's something that I just wanted to mention about that specific scene, because when I saw it, I was like, I have to share it. And it's so weird that out of the four of us, I'm the only one that can relate to that scene because you guys grew up with your fathers. But there comes a point in time in a mother's life where she realizes that she cannot handle raising a boy. And that was that moment for this character, right? So that's where the dad now has to step in. And for many single parents, for many single women, especially in South Africa, that's tough. If the dad is not, maybe let's say he ran away or he married someone else or he passed out, it becomes very difficult to deal with that boy, especially once the hand is not as powerful, it's not a powerful thing anymore to discipline the child. Because what happens, I remember it happened with me. My mom used to whoop my ass all the time. But I remember that was the last time she actually ever laid her hands on me, like for real. I came home late because we were going with my friend somewhere. When he came back, she hit me with a belt. I didn't cry for the first time. So I think that was an indicator that he's not a kid anymore. What do you do as a mom there when your child is no longer affected by your discipline and the dad is not there? That is one of the toughest times or the most challenging times for a single mother. If there's no grandpa, there's no uncle, there's no next door neighbor of a male figure, that parent is going to go through some of the most challenging phase in their life until maybe that kid is wise enough to understand the difference. So it's just a little thing that I just want to say. And I'm sure whoever's watching this is probably going to relate to what I'm saying. Like, as a boy, two things could either happen. You either go off course or you start just going your own path and trying to do the right thing. So yeah, it's just a note that I just wanted to make. Sorry about that. Maybe that's too personal.
No, dude, that was beautiful. No, that was fucking great, man. That was beautiful, man. Spitting bars.
have such an interesting narrative because I can see how my parents deliberately went the opposite direction because I never cried when they lay their hands on me as a baby. Even my dad said, it's either you're going to read a sociopath or we're going to have to do something about it. And they never stopped. So what they did was actually did the level best for me to develop a sense of empathy, to see the pain coming from that side of the equation. And that hurt more.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I was just regularly terrified. Like they didn't do anything. I think I was just scared.
You would regularly just shit your pants. It's fine, but we get it.
Yeah, you just felt the power level.
Mine were few and mine was spaced out, so they managed to keep it fresh because mine was spaced out. I was too quiet a kid to be punished all the time. I was way too quiet. Like I feel like I was a nerd from birth. Like from like grade 0, I was already a nerd.
I was just like I would hear my name from my father's mouth and I have a heart attack.
And it was cooked, right? I know what you mean. But yeah, man. Okay, I'm gonna carry on. Transition. We're 8 minutes in now. Only been 8 minutes. We transition as we move through the city because again they're working hard to show us the city. And we didn't mention it before, but when he was walking home, we got some more of the city. And now we're transitioning to his part, to the dad's part of the town, which to me, ironically, this hit me some of that as nostalgia. Like when we were living in Cape Town, I would be living at Thornton, and then my family, my cousins, all of them would be living at Guguletu too. So you drive across the city to the home to their home, and you go hang out there for the weekends. And you kind of get that vibe here.
It's amazing how the environment changes from opulence and it keeps going down to more low class or
Trey looks like he's regretting every life decision he's made up until this point.
Poor income household type of like dilapidated buildings, old stuff that's not maintained well, where the government barely goes, stuff like that. Like you start seeing the decline or rather you start seeing the economic disparity between where he's raised.
But I'm saying like that actor who was playing the child Trey, he was really good.
Yes.
But because like when you look at that kid, you end up seeing it in his face that he's reflecting like he's an old man. Like he's just like, why did I throw that punch?
It's a complicated situation.
Why did I say that thing to that kid? Oh my god!
Like,
at that age, you just be thinking I should have hit that dude with a left and a right. This guy is like contemplating his entire life.
Exactly. That's why regret there, 100%.
And that's why they call character building, because it's one of those first few times where you realize actions have consequences. And sometimes the consequences of your actions are a lot more heavier than you actually intended.
Of course. Yeah, that was deep. I actually enjoyed this scene a lot because it kind of reminds me, there's a great scene done by Kutso, you may know him. 8 Widows?
Who?
12 Years a Slave. What's his name? Steve McQueen, right?
He's got a movie called Widows. Oh, you're talking about the director.
Yes, director Steve McQueen, right?
Yes, I am familiar with
Widows, right?
I am familiar with Steve.
Is it Widows?
But I don't know the movie.
Yes, do you know his movie?
I'll be right back.
All right.
No problem.
Okay, cool. There's this great black movie. It's starring. There's a great scene that you guys should definitely check out the movie. It's called. I believe it's called Widows. It's got
Yes,
it's a great robbery type movie. Yes,
you're right.
By Steve McQueen. There's a scene.
2018. Yeah.
Yes. There's a scene in it, right, where so there's I think Colin Farrell's playing a mayor or some kind of like alderman. I think that's what it's called, an alderman. And you see, in America they got districts, right? And I think we got districts too, but theirs are like small. But anyway, this man lives in the same district as the district in the hood, so he's going home, right? Because then we have to be in the district to be the alderman. So you see him going home as he's talking, and you just see him go from the hood to a gorgeous house, and somehow it's still the same district. And like to me, that's what this felt like.
Right.
Also, another one, of course, is City of God. Always shout out our review. You'll love it. Anyway, anyway, back to the movie. So yeah, we transition to the different part of town, and of course, I can't get over, like you've mentioned, how good the acting is. Seriously, this is some of the most layered, nuanced acting. I mean, beyond acting. I'm talking about Lawrence Fishburne and Angela Bassett. You can see the father's joy about having the son full time. Like he's wanted this. And you can see the mother struggling with the reality of the situation while at the same time trying to keep up a smile. Like she's trying to play it cool, but it's not really working out. And they talk, and we see that they are both split, but they don't hate each other. Likely they're stubborn people who just they're not supposed to be together. You know what I mean? Like they're strong people, intelligent people who are just not supposed to be together.
I think if they had better communication skills, they would have worked. But I think because they're both so revolutionary, I think they're very tied to what their version of revolution is. Because if you look at it, Furious's version of revolution is I need to be where the action is. Like you can obviously see if Furious wanted to leave Compton or wherever the case was, he would have left a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Has the intelligence and the capability to do it.
Yeah.
And that's a kind of a layered form of storytelling, because subtly what they're saying is the reason for their divorce might not even have been that they were incompatible as people. But simply because of the way they viewed progress.
Yes.
Because even when they interact, Furious he won't say it, but he has an issue with the way what was it? Was it Rhea?
Riva, I think.
Riva. Oh no, it's Riva. Like he has kind of an issue with Riva chasing high society in a sense.
Yes.
Like if you look at the way Riva dresses, if you look at the way Riva wears her hair and all of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
But
like he would consider her an Uncle Tom, if that makes sense.
Maybe not even an Uncle Tom per se, but it's just that you're chasing white proximity. Like there is just a bit of a difference between being an Uncle Tom and like trying to be close to white proximity. But in her mind, where they were or where Furious lives, stuff doesn't grow there. People don't grow there. They just get broke. They just get destroyed. So,
and in a way, that is kind of, in a way, one would argue the movie kind of proves her right, but I feel like we'll get into that later.
No, but I'm saying, I think the thing is that Furious in his mind, his fight is not now. Whereas Riva's like, we're living life right now. Like, we can't afford to be chasing this nebulous thing. But Furious is like, but if we leave, it never changes.
Yeah, she's definitely on the you cannot save everyone tip. He's more on the we can save someone tip, I think.
So, and I think that's kind of what causes the split. And because the writing is so brilliant, we'll get to the scenes, but the way they talk about Trey, you can frame it as a way they talk about the hood. But anyway.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know my family was like that, where it's like, dude, you can't try to save the whole neighborhood, man. You can't. Sometimes what you have to do is try and build something new elsewhere. You can't just, if the soil's been salted, you can't sometimes plant grass there. Sometimes it's better just to build something else. But anyway, I still think that's some deep shit, and I think that's gorgeous, by the way. I think that whole thing was amazing. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, we immediately see a change of tone as Trey's father tells him, oh, sorry, wait. Yeah, they don't hate each other. Okay, no. After they talk, you kind of see a change of tone as Trey says goodbye to his mother, and mother explains, no, this isn't forever. It's beautiful. And then she leaves, and now you see an immediate change of tone that Trey's father now is like a disciplinary. He's like, okay, you're going to have to rake the leaves. And you can kind of see there's
something that I just want to say before you get there. Remember, Führer spoke to Chris first. He said, Chris, I can pay you to do the lawn. And then Doughboy tells Furious that Chris works for his uncle. Right? He's already making money. So to Chris, the amount that Furious was willing to give him is little compared to whatever his uncle's is already giving him,
Oh, yeah.
So which already gives you then the impression that Chris also has a positive figure in his life. Even though,
it depends. It's
not how I interpret it.
You can kind of read it two ways. Because the way I read it that the uncle could probably be a drug dealer.
Exactly. That's the way I understood it.
And he could probably be using this kid because there's stories about comedians have spoken about this, about how as children they were sent up and down and etc. I don't know all the particulars.
Yeah. But to me, I took it badly, as in for
because it's like kids don't look malicious or menacing. So if you send them out to go somewhere, they're less likely to get searched or anything than a full-grown adult or whatever.
Wasn't there like an entire season of The Wire where the kids were basically moving product?
Yeah,
Yes.
so in my head, because that's the thing, if a kid knows the value of $5 at that age, that indicates that something horrible in the background is going on.
Well, unless that person's dad, unless that person's dad is a businessman, like think of like an astute businessman who's already teaching his kids the value of money and things like that. But
yeah,
no, definitely.
I just don't want to paint it with the same brush. I'm saying there's anomalies in what you're saying.
No, I'm saying there is anomalies, but the thing is also it's kind of still a tragedy in a sense, because if you are having to sit your kid down at that age to start explaining economics, it means that there's something that is not gelling right now that needs your kid to grow up faster than they should be growing up. Because at the age that they're discussing $5, to me, let's like to put it in the South African context. If I was like 10 years old and my dad gave me $10, my entire day was changed forever. Like,
but
it would be 100.
$10 went a lot way back in our day, kids.
The 90s.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, like, that felt like a huge amount of responsibility, and you just tell me go do whatever with it. But now, if I knew the value of 10 Rand and I was like, no, I can get 100, how do I know that? Like, there's something happening around me.
I totally missed that.
But no, what took me off was the fact that it was the silence. Because remember, the father says, doing what? And then they both go silent. And after a while, he says, helping his uncle. And he never says helping his uncle doing what. So that, to me, that deliberate silence,
no,
they understand that the father
is the car, right? He helps him with the car or something. Didn't they mention a car?
No, but like there is a pause. There is a pause before they respond. And you can see it in Furious's face as well. He doesn't look at those kids with hope. He looks at those kids with worry.
No, he didn't. He definitely
turns to his, and then he turns to his son, and then he's like, "Well, I get Trey to do it for me."
Exactly. So anyway, change of tone. We see the clear difference of discipline between them as he listens to his father, and he spends literally the entire day to clean that yard up completely. Like, that just shows the discipline of the way he listens to his father over his mother, and that's going to be a big deal throughout the entire story.
Dude, you know what's so weird about that? It's a small thing, but I just wanted to mention it. When Trey is talking to Chris and Doughboy, while Furious and what's the woman's name again? River,
yeah.
While they're having that conversation, Trey didn't say a word until he had to go fetch some of his things or say goodbye to his mother, one of the two. Whereas before he came to Furious, he was doing a lot of talking, cussing, and whatever. But it's like when he was with his dad, all of a sudden he's a timid boy. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. This is weird.
Yeah, there's a clear line here. Yes, exactly. 100%. The difference in homes. Also, when you enter the house, you can see the difference in homes by the state of the house. You can see just the bathroom, the bathtub alone, that even though the father is strict, that doesn't mean things are clean there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, Trey's father paints.
I say, not as I do.
You can see the female touch is
of every dad
there.
since circa 1964.
Exactly.
The female touch is missing there.
Exactly. So it's a parent with bathtub scene, and then they have a conversation, which I enjoy a lot. Just the dialogue flow is great. Trey's father paints clear boundaries, and we get this nice element of love throughout the whole conversation. It just felt beautiful. Like, that is some shit you don't see anymore. And I just, like, it's actually crazy.
I'm surprised he managed to get that off, because I would never at that age, like, when he was just like, "Dad, can I ask you a question? What do you do around here?" I was like, those words would never leave my mouth, especially at that age.
Yeah. It would be beat my kids. That would have been the answer.
You say them in your heart and in your spirit, and you hope it doesn't show.
Exactly.
Before the last syllable exits your mouth, the fist is already here. What's the YouTube?
But I like Fiddler's parenting style because he understood that it was an opportunity to teach, right? Instead of just beat the kid, because you still haven't answered the when you beat the kid. The kid still doesn't know what
exactly.
you do. But it's an opportunity to teach him about his responsibility towards the kid. So
literally, I think that's 100% correct.
Yeah, like,
so anyway,
Reddit post where it was like, "Was Furious a good dad?" And I was like, "What movie did you watch?"
exactly.
I'm curious
why is
now.
this a debate?
That's clickbait. That's clickbait.
Next question is grass green? Is the sky blue? Is oxygen flammable?
They need to watch more anime if they don't understand what a bad dad is. Okay. Anyway, 14 minutes in, we cut to night. Which, by the way, as a filmmaker, is way overlit. Holy cow! Is there a spotlight in that room? But anyway, but to be fair, realism was never the point of this movie. Anyway, someone is breaking into the home, and Trey's father hears it and pulls out a Yosemite Sam gun. Trey. We get some great tension as it builds.
Yeah, that's the gun. That's the gun that designed to beef with Bugs Bunny. I was like, yo,
dog. You know what I mean? But anyway, so
if
anyway,
you remember the mask,
Trey...
you remember the mask?
Somebody stop me.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what that gun was. But anyway, someone is breaking into the home, and Trey's father here. Anyway, Trey is in the as the tension builds, and we're trying to see what's going on, trying to hear what's going on. Trey suddenly goes to the bathroom, and as the criminal appears to be getting closer, we hear the gun click. Trey's father pops two giant, absolutely Looney Tunes holes in the door, and the criminal gets away.
Hey,
it's a beautiful
moment of tension. What's this? Trey's dad was just like, whoever is behind this door must die.
Dog!
I think
an elephant would have died behind that door.
Buckmaster, who taught you about Dolus Eventualis?
Pistorius.
Yeah, come on. What? Yeah, you know, you're insulting these legal terms.
You know, I just want
the thoughts that are related to my job.
Hey, man, Oscar taught the nation, dog. Oscar taught the nation. Like, even Trevor Noah was saying, you know, you can't trust these ones now. We used to just feel sorry for them, but now we're like, hey, man.
I just wanted to say that the way that was shot was amazing because it zooms out of Lawrence Fishburne's, right? Because from his angle.
Yeah.
And as it goes back, it goes inside that hole and outside to the door to show you the two holes. That was flipping amazing. I don't know how they did that.
Like the way they even like the pacing, like I'm saying, even the pacing of the break-in. Because remember, this guy is not a long-standing character. This is the dude who's breaking into the house.
Yeah.
But they managed to take that small amount of time and paste it right to make this guy so threatening to whatever was happening. And it's just like, this is just, and also, again, this is just the movie saying this is just a regular occurrence. Like, it's just regularly occurring that you have to be this alert.
Yeah.
That you have to be this ready to shoot somebody and go to work the next day like nothing happened.
Yeah. To shoot Easy E. Yeah. But anyway, man was completely easy. He had the curls and everything. Anyway,
I feel so sorry for the child. It's like all this because I threw a punching class. You know, we could all be reading a book right now.
No, there's a part in the movie, man. There's a part in the movie where I was like, if I was Trey, I'm gone. Bye. But we'll talk about
it. Go home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it was happening while he was peeing or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, I think he was brushing his teeth, and then he looked at himself and he was like, "Oh shit!" Because I think like just body functions.
He was about to pee, but then he heard.
Oh
yeah. Because remember he was asleep. So But anyway, the criminal gets away. They find his shoe. And anyway, they wait for the cops. This takes an hour. And then the worst cop in the world appears.
Hey, dog, this guy in apartheid era, he'd be trying to get a bus card, or like he'd be on the bus program.
He would be Constable Sabella from Sarafina. If you guys remember,
hey,
there's a tie around your neck.
We know. Unhelpful black person.
Why did you have to bring back that image? Oh God, I deleted that horrifying scene.
What do they call it? A Zulu necktie, right?
No, they call it neck bracing, isn't it?
It is. But it is also called a necktie.
It's called.
The name is interchangeable.
Yeah.
But I was like the most unhelpful. Like, what happened to you? And that time, this nigga is dark.
Yeah,
midnight, black, bro. Jeez. Midnight. I could not believe it.
He's the guy that if they broke into your house in the middle of the night, he wouldn't need a mask. But he is just
absolutely Michael Jackson type shit, bro.
Yo. I think
I'm dark too, so I can say it. But anyway,
I think I even lost my train of thoughts because I've been trying to say this. What were we talking about now? Who was next? Oh,
evil black cop.
I think he gave up. He gave up on black people. He gave up on this. He realized that there's nothing. He just felt like they cannot be saved. There's nothing you can do to change them, to change the system.
Yeah, when he started, in his first year in the police, he was probably like, in his first year, he was like, I'm gonna change the world, and then the world changed him.
But like, do your job though. Like,
I know, right? Like really.
Like, do your job. What do you mean you should have got him? Would have been one less nigga in the street. Like, I didn't shoot him
because would be so proud.
I was trying to get rid of a gangbanger. I shot him because a dude was coming into my house. It could have been a dude from China. It could have been a dude from Denmark. They'd be dead all the same. What are you talking about?
But anyway, it's a very strong stereotype. We keep mentioning. Actually, I'm gonna get into that. The don't sip cold Kool-Aid in the hood while something. We'll get into that later on.
Oh, don't be a menace.
Yes, don't be a menace. They've got this they got the later version of this scene.
Yes. With Benny Mac.
So anyway, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're at the 18-minute mark. Less than 20 minutes. We're still in Act 1, guys. I know, we're still in Act 1. We open up on another mother saying terrible things. This is, by the way, is Ricky and Doughboy's mom. And Doughboy is just completely ignoring her. There's this conversation. Then Trey comes in and Trey talks to Doughboy's mother, and they kind of like this. Doughboy kind of the mother kind of has a change of attitude when it comes to him. Anyway, we get this nice dynamic.
By the way. That's just very bad parenting.
That's appalling.
It's the most realistic parenting that you can ever see on film, by the way. Where the favoritism is overt, or if it's not something like that, they'll compare you to Banabako next door. It's common. Trust me.
Yeah, but like,
I wouldn't say the words "you'll never amount to anything." Like those were just like, I feel like that was strong.
No, guys. Those words are normal to other kids out there. I promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say if you're a parent, like don't do that to your children, and then when they grow up to be murderers, you're surprised. Like, stop it.
Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, we get to see a dynamic of the hood politics and how the hood sees the father.
I was teaching at that point in time because I was about to say things that would have got this channel flagged. Because
good. Let's put some more food in that man's mouth. You're gonna get us into trouble.
Yeah, maybe because there's a very angry grandma inside my head that always yells whenever I see parents abuse their children. It's like, you opened them legs, they didn't. Don't you dare inconvenience their life because of your prejudice. I filtered it. The original text was much more vulgar.
Oh my gosh.
exactly what she said.
This is ancient with hoes and tricks.
I'm glad I'm glad we got the Disney version. I'm glad that's the Disney version.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, okay. We see how the hood sees the father. Like how they're like, you don't hang around anymore. What's wrong? You don't hang out you don't think you're too good for us, kind of vibe. I like that a lot. You also notice something that's changed a lot. In the next couple of scenes, the fancy camera angles, those dolly zooms that we've seen before, the fancy editing has cut down a lot. Replaced by, I would actually argue, instead of using strong camera angles, what they now use is strong dialogue. Again, okay, Kutso says it's not that strong dialogue, it's more normal than you think. But personally, I think this dialogue is very to the point and it's very strong. Like a mother talking to a child like that, of course, is bonkers. I think and of course,
we had different experiences.
Well, no, I mean, two things can be true at the same time. I just think that the dialogue is naturalized, but you see the point, and I think that's what makes it strong.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
In real life, we have pointless conversations all the time. A lot of a lot of ahs, a lot of things that don't go anywhere. Real life conversations.
Mumblecore, yes, exactly.
And then there's real life conversations that have direction to them. I think what Singleton did here is he took something in real life, but then he said, this needs to go somewhere. There is a point to what is being said.
Yeah, it's late for it's the dialogue is late for a meeting. It wants you to get there quickly. So anyway, as I was saying, the mother talking to the child like that is bonkers. The holes in the door are bonkers. The house burglar dressed like Eazy-E in super dark sunglasses at night is even more bonkers. Absolutely none of this is subtle. Absolutely none of this is like for dark glasses at night. It doesn't make sense. You're breaking in. But anyway.
But he's hiding his identity. He doesn't have a balaclava, dog. It made sense.
Deep glasses? Hell no. Anyway, we're now 21 minutes in, and guys, now the.
I need to cut this short. All my equipment is dying on me.
No,
it's Ethan, sorry, bro.
It's all good, man.
Thanks for the time.
Always a pleasure, bro. Is he still talking?
No, I think it's.
No, I don't know. I think he's. I think he's out.
Man. Well, it's always a pleasure, bro.
Peace, man.
Anyway, we'll see how far we go. So anyway, now Stand By Me came out in 1986, and this came out. Okay, I feel like now Kutso's already said this, but yeah, this scene came out in 1991. So Stand By Me references feel very deliberate. Kutso has said that. So anyway, we get this great scene where we get to see a dead body. We see them on the railway tracks, like you would have for Stand By Me.
That was the second.
This is when Trey visits.
Yes.
And then they say we need to go visit Chris. And then that's when they they found the second one on the railway.
The second reference is the train thing, which also inspired the Duffer Brothers for Stranger Things. Because they did the train tracks thing twice, by the way. If you remember,
they are thieves.
In season 1 and season 2. Yeah.
See, when Singleton does it, it's an homage. When the Duffer Brothers do it, judging by season 5, it's theft.
It's bar for bar.
Duffers. They stole our whole flow.
And we're just acting like Charlamagne. Oh shit!
Oh shit! Yeah, exactly. I can't wait. I feel like Robert's gonna be mad at us when we do.
Is she a fan? Because I'm
a hardcore fan.
I'm like on episode 3.
The Stranger Things review is
but I'm saying I'm on episode 3, and I'm like.
It gets more fascinating. Keep watching, bro. I'm excited for it. We're gonna get in trouble. Anyway, so anyway, they go there, they see the dead body. And it's not the same guy. I thought it might be the same guy, but no, it isn't. Then we get to meet these I don't know, we can call them gangbangers, dealers, because they're on a street corner. Anyway, they pick up. They go after Ricky's
another thing that I gotta shout out though. Another thing I gotta shout out though is that Doughboy, if you pay attention to him, he's actually one of the most fascinating characters in the entire film.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
interestingly enough, it's because he has that thing of like basically what I dubbed him is a gangster furious. If you pay attention to it, we'll talk about it
Oh,
as
yeah.
we go further into the movie. But you can see that Singleton managed to communicate that there's a light in there in Doughboy, and there's a wisdom there in Doughboy that if it was just nurtured, he could have become something entirely different.
He kind of
Yeah.
reminds me
In
of
fact, I have a theory.
Deadweiler.
Yeah, say.
You remember
Yeah.
Recess?
Recess.
Yeah, the cartoon.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he
Oh,
kind of
TJ.
he reminds me of TJ Deadweiler. Remember TJ was big
Yeah.
and he used to have
Yes.
a cap and he was the
And he was
ringleader.
the smartest guy there. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, no, I feel that. I
Yeah,
feel
because
that.
like
I
if you
feel
listen
that.
to Doughboy's dialogue, he's never really saying dumb things.
No.
He
Oh, yeah.
sometimes does dumb things, but he's never really. So like, what's this? When Ricky grabs the ball, Doughboy says, "Don't bring the ball.
Yeah,
Don't bring the ball."
yeah.
Now you think it's just him saying that my little brother is annoying me because he always wants to hold on to this freaking football. But because Doughboy's been around, like he has a better street sense than Ricky does. He knew that people were gonna mess with him with the ball, but he
You
just
know,
didn't have the words to articulate that
Buck,
if you
Yeah.
bring this thing.
I think you can relate to this. Rob, you as well, because
Eh.
I think you are an older brother. I think you have siblings, right? Because
Okay. Yes.
you know when you tell your younger sibling not to do something
Yeah.
and they do it anyway, and the reason you were telling them not to do something is because now you're gonna have to now do something about it. Like, dog, I
Yes.
told you not to do this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Now I have to fight
Yeah.
people because of you. Like, you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying, dog? Like,
Yeah.
so like
now
the
we both in
burden,
trouble. You know what I'm saying? Now we both in
Yeah.
trouble, and I was not
Now
even
yeah.
involved.
And
Yeah.
you see, what's worse for the older sibling is if you don't actually achieve what it is that you were supposed to do, you're gonna get into trouble when you get home
Yeah.
this person's like, yo, you see now I'm in trouble with mom or dad because of
Yeah.
not listening to what I told you for in the beginning.
Exactly.
So you get your ass
And
whooped,
I think
then you get your ass whooped at home. So
exactly.
being an older
And I
sibling,
think there's a discussion to be had here about Doughboy, and maybe if there can be a thing said, like maybe he's like a father light to the baby brother, like you said,
deputy
gangster
parent.
furious. Exactly. Because of the lack of love he's getting, he might as well just share it with his baby brother, do you know what I mean? And try to get some there, while at the same time being this tough protective shell for him, which is why Ricky grows up sheltered and stupid. But we'll get there. But we'll get there. Because again,
He's definitely
he's not an adult.
treated with kid gloves his entire life.
Exactly. And because and because Doughboy is not actually an adult and doesn't have the strength or the wisdom to actually teach Ricky, there's major limitations that come to Ricky, because Ricky still needs a father, even though he has a mother that loves him absolutely. He still needs a secondary parent. But I think that goes with the themes of this movie, which is fatherhood.
Yeah,
We're
but
not saying specifically. Yeah.
I mean, but maybe fatherhood is not even the term I would say. It was just that Ricky, for his entire life, he was like idolized a lot, and I think what they were trying to say is that I mean, you know, father, mother, male, female energy. There's a lot of terms that circulate around him, but he needed someone to say no. And when Doughboy said it, Ricky wouldn't listen because in Ricky's mind, they are of the same age.
Yeah.
But he didn't understand that Doughboy saw things more than he saw things. And
just keep your thing closer to your mouth. I think.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah. And I'm saying the mom at the same time, the way she handled Ricky is she coddled him for everything and praised him for everything, even to the point where when he became a dad and it was out of wedlock, she didn't hold it against him because she was just like, I've seen way worse stuff and I've seen Doughboy do way worse stuff, so I'm still going to coddle this little boy. Oh, sorry, I'm skipping ahead, but let me just get back to it. But I'm just saying, in this scene with Paul, we see that she even encourages him to take the ball, even though Doughboy says don't take it. So it's just you can see that the mom is like, Ricky can do whatever he wants because
she's an enabler.
seems to have a future. And it's just like you can't let somebody with a future just run wild in an environment like that.
Yeah. It is a wild, wild west, which is funny because again, they grew up in the same place at the same time. But the fact that it's like this kind of really says something.
Yeah, they're not having the same. They're growing in the same household, but they're not having the same experience.
Exactly. So anyway, they meet up with the gangbangers who steal Ricky's ball, and that's just the life there. So for them, it's automatically gone in their heads. And we get this nice little close up on that one gangster, the big one. And it's like that's interesting. And you kind of get like supposed to focus on him kind of thing. And I thought that was an interesting camera shot. And yeah, anyway, it looks like they're about to they're gonna lose the ball. They get beaten, Doughboy gets beaten up over it. Those kids are like actually kind of, but anyway, yeah. And then just when things seem lost,
moments ever, dog.
Oh yeah. And just when things seem lost,
and you can also even see it in Doughboy's face where he's like, not to bring this. Give my brother his ball back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But you can see Doughboy and the Doughboy is struggling really hard with his lack of power. In this very dangerous world. Like he wants power because he doesn't have the power to help the people around him. So I think
I also see the City of God reference thing here as well. If you remember, Lil Zay was young, and the people bigger than him were always like looking down on him, even though he was smart for his age.
Yeah.
The only difference between Doughboy and Lil Zay is that Lil Zay just wanted to see the world burn while
because he was a sociopath, exactly. Yeah. But whereas Doughboy just wants to protect his family, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if this was the moment where Doughboy maybe went from a kid with a future to a gangbanger full time. Like he was like, I'm gonna do what it takes to like look after my family. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think he does give up.
Because he even says, I want to kill this guy. I wish I could kill him. Because he's like, I don't have, he's like so frustrated his lack of power. But anyway, they end up giving him the ball back, which I thought was a beautiful moment because it shows that it's not all dog eat dog. There's always a little bit of light, even in the darkness. I thought that was a little nice moment there with the kid. Anyway, that puts us, believe it or not, only 25 minutes in. A lot of weight. I think a lot of the story's writing is in these first act.
You and I once had this conversation that movies back then, like 80s, 90s, 70s, whatever, a lot would happen in like an hour or an hour and 30 minutes. Like even in martial arts movies, they show the character being born. I'll give you an example, Double Impact. They show the character being born. They'll even show you the training arc. They find a love interest, and they still get to fight the villain in one movie, dog.
Oh yeah,
they made it work. But nowadays,
and also don't forget, it's not even one in movie. It's in the first hour, and then the second hour is the final act, and now it's just punching. Beverly Hills Cop is a good example of this. A lot of the setup is done in the first hour, and the second half is just the final action scene. Now we gotta go get the bad guy. A lot of movies do this. In fact,
Die Hard did that as well, like with the tower and everything. Like basically the way it's structured.
Oh yes, you remember we were shocked that Die Hard was close to 3 hours, and we were like, "What?"
Yeah, because it hits exact markers. It's a very good filmmaking technique, and I think it's just it doesn't exist as in the same levels as it used to before.
No, I think
in fact,
what
we have a
happened is
catchphrase.
I think people got self-indulgent. I think a lot of filmmakers get self-indulgent nowadays because they love to hear themselves talk, and it's just like sometimes you're going on about nothing, and we need to get to it. So I think
exactly, and we need to get somewhere.
Yeah, I think people just used to be more efficient with I'm trying to get somewhere.
Because
like
you have to be.
Like Terminator was this. I need to set up Sarah Connor. I need to set up that the future's in danger, and then we need to have the final act. Like I don't need to go on and on about Sarah Connor. You know, what's this her mental state and all of that stuff. You see it in the story.
Yes. It's again. I think that's why when we get a T-shirt, it should say this movie is late for a meeting because that's our catchphrase. That's the thing we say all the time, man.
Yeah, because that's our catchphrase. Episode, my G.
But yeah. Cool. So now 25 minutes in, we set up the last scene. Trey goes fishing with his father, and they get a strong lesson about being an adult. The knowledge and rules have been pushed into Trey's mind to the point where he knows them off by heart. They talk about
cussing a lot in
fatherhood
front
and
of Trey though. I was like, I like as a kid, whenever I heard my parents swear, which was like very rare, by the way. Like I
yeah.
remember one time I heard it, and it was like finding gold or finding platinum at the bottom of the ocean or something. I was like, did that really happen? So my parents never
Exactly.
swore in front of me. So like
Same,
it
dude.
just
What
weirded me out
happened?
that to get. No, I'm saying when Furious is giving Trey life advice and he starts. Whoa, okay, what?
Using naughty words.
I'm hoping my lights are not flickering out. Anyway, I was just saying with my dad, whenever he gave me life advice, I never remember him cussing. So it was just kind of weird and juxtaposed to see Furious when he's giving deep life advice, and he's just like,
Exactly.
yeah, anybody with a dick can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I was like, I didn't even know my dad knows that word. What?
But also,
I feel you.
if we're talking about that scene, we should also mention the part. I don't know if you already mentioned it, Rob, where Doughboy actually tells them that he's gonna go to the shops.
Oh yeah.
And one of them
Yeah.
says, "Don't go there." He's like, "Nah, I'm going."
No, he says you don't even have money, so what would?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm still gonna go.
So there's
Oh,
it sets up
yeah.
something important later on.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I actually missed that.
Because Doughboy is one of those guys where it again, like a father, do as I say, not as I do. He'll tell Ricky
Yeah.
not to do something, but don't tell Doughboy not to do anything.
But I think he also wanted to air out his frustrations. That was the only thing he could
Yes.
possibly do.
I actually missed that. Yes. That fills a lot of gaps. I missed that piece of dialogue. Because I know in the dialogue here, it's another thing that you don't really see anymore. There's a lot of heavy lifting going on in this dialogue. You have to keep track of all the words, otherwise you miss something like that. I actually missed that. Yeah, no, and then that sets up, of course, the latest scene with the theft. But fantastic, yes. Um, shit, I wish I heard that. Anyway, yeah. Moving on. This is the whole conversation with them is a great way to push exposition, setting up the father and his mindset. Essentially what we're doing right now is having a discussion of theme. The theme, of course, is manhood, being black, and being grown. It even gets punctuated by the song. Does anyone know what the name of the song is? That ooh, things are gonna get easier.
Yeah. I'm just blanking on the name, but I know I know the song because they
I know
played
the
it in
song
like
as
thousands
well.
of movies.
I just don't know. I just don't
Yeah, we
remember
all
the
know the
artist.
song. It's flipping amazing. But anyway, yeah, that song, exactly. It plays and it just keeps playing, and then we see them go home. And to me, this gave me a lot of City of God vibes. I almost wanted to be like, which one came first? But it turns out City of God came out in 2000. But anyway,
Yeah.
so the song is playing. We see Doughboy getting arrested for theft. We see their mother helpless and just goes back to the home. Ricky explains what happened. It also seems to be a powerful message that outside of that one policeman, the black one, all the cops seem to be orderly, professional, and like faceless. And they're all whiter than snow. There's not another black cop outside of that one, outside of
Who
that
has
terrible
lost
one.
his mind. Like there's a shot in the movie that I
Mm.
can't wait to discuss, where even the white dude is like, "Bro, chill."
I made a TikTok about it. And did you see it?
I just want to
I
say
know.
Did you see that TikTok?
when I saw that,
I want to see it.
when I saw that scene, I put myself in Ricky's shoes because I was like, it's so messed up when you're seeing your brother go into juvie and there's nothing you can do.
Oh yeah.
Even with the
Yeah, no,
mom,
it's painful, bro.
even the thing about parents is even though they antagonize you, they still want the best for you.
Yeah.
So when you do stuff like that,
True.
it really disappoints everybody.
Oh yeah.
But I think
And also
also the actress was so good because I think like maybe this is just me reaching, but the emotion in her face, it kind of told me that she regretted
Yeah.
how she spoke to
I
Doughboy.
don't think you're reaching at all. I saw that as well.
Like it looked like she was she looked like she was blaming herself for Doughboy being hauled away by the police van. If you get what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. No, there's a pain of helplessness there, definitely, that I felt.
I mean, she didn't even finish the
Absolutely.
cigarette.
Oh yeah. But anyway, everyone's white. This always gives me the feeling that we're being trained to believe that the people there in the hood are essentially animals in the zoo, and the cops are their zookeepers, keeping them caged and in place. It's an extremely dark image.
Damn.
Seriously, this movie could not be made today. Now it goes without saying that City of God did this kind of transition a little bit better. I think you can agree with that, Kutso.
Yeah.
Spending more time to set up the environment and the characters and integrating them impossibly well compared to Boyz Hood. But I think both movies do this setup of them in their youth probably better than any other two movies in the world. I don't think it's. Can you even think of another two movies or one movie that's done this setup of like the youth to grow up?
Have you guys reviewed City of God?
Yeah,
we have reviewed it. Yeah,
we have.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was a long movie. I was gonna watch it, but now I'm like, would I watch it?
No, trust me.
It's worth it.
You have to watch it.
You have to watch it, bro.
You have to watch it.
It's worth it. It's honest to God. It is honest to God one of my favorite movies of all time. It's better than Goodfellas.
Same here.
I'll try.
But to answer your question, Rob, that's a difficult question because there's a lot of catalog to consider. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't think of one right now, but I'm sure there is another movie. Maybe let's say 3 other movies where there's a nice transition from. I mean, when I'm thinking about It 2, for example, it's just that it is broken down into 2 movies. Unfortunately.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, that's very different,
yeah.
But yes.
But I think what Rob is saying though is that we get to, like, the characters that we meet later is informed by the characters that we're meeting now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. So I think that particular transition, I don't know. I know modern movies don't really do it like that because modern movies, they already know, they don't really give characters room. Like a quick example. Man of Steel, the way they edited that movie and even the way that they paced that movie, you knew who Superman was. You were just waiting for him to be Superman, if you get what I'm saying.
And you never really King is an exception.
That's actually really good.
With young Simba.
I hear what you're saying. I wouldn't say it's environmental and character storytelling though. But yes, it was also great. Of course, I'm not going to argue with that. Yeah. But I'm talking about like first act.
The environment as well. I see what you're saying.
But also what I'm trying to say is, like, with the Lion King example, right? It's that we saw who Simba was going to be, and then things went horribly wrong, and he went in another direction.
True.
With these kids, you don't really know at what point who's going to go where. Because remember, Trey is violent as a child. He's not like... He is violent. He has violent tendencies.
He has temper issues, yes.
Yeah, and then when you see Ricky is kind of floaty. He's kind of just in his zone. He's kind of just focused on his ball. So you don't think he's going to get a big head about things eventually. You just think he's going to be a dude who's chilled and loves football.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying. And then Doughboy, like the way Doughboy is, you don't get the, like, the whole gangbanging thing. It's based off that.
Just to your mouth again.
Oh, sorry. Like that whole gangbanging incident with the ball where he finds out how powerless he is. He might have gone in a totally different direction had that never happened to him.
Right.
So what I'm saying is Singleton here, what he's done brilliantly is you don't know where these kids are going to lean in their character arcs. You're not sure yet.
But you do understand that the environment's going to do something to them. And I like that. That's actually really good.
Okay. I see what you're saying, bro. Yeah, no, that's a hard one.
Yeah, let's leave it open to the audience, guys. Why don't you guys do the audience thing? I can't do it. Leave it in the comment section.
So, what do you name a couple of movies that do set up for children into adults the way Boyz in the Hood and City of God have done it in the comment section down below. You let us know.
Thank you.
All right.
Back
to the film.
Cool. So, So now think about what. Give me 1 second.
So that's
now officially 30 minutes in.
Act 1, right?
That's the end of Act 1. We are 30 minutes in a 1 hour and 50 minutes movie.
You know what's so interesting about movies like this? And I like us talking about movies like this where the main character is the adult version of this character. But a huge chunk of the movie is based on the kid version of this actor.
That's true, yeah.
If you get what I'm saying. And that happens in a lot of movies where the parents of the actor actually have more screen, or they should be having more screen time.
Yeah.
Not really, because the adult character probably has a huge chunk of screen time going forward. But it's like Lawrence Fishburne carried that first half because you saw him more often, even though he was interacting with a different actor. If that makes sense.
But also the power of him. But yes, no, I completely understand. But it's not just the minutes, but it's the power and the depth that he managed to convey. Because some people, there was this thing, I don't know if you guys saw it now, where people were talking about Harry Potter, not Lucius, Draco Malfoy. Yeah. They were like, do you know this nigga's only in like 2 minutes of the first movie? And like 3 minutes of the second movie, and like 1 minute of the last movie, and you're like,
but he was impeccable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Someone told me that. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I thought it was in like a third of the movie. That to me, that's Lawrence Fishburne. Like he can do that without even trying.
That's that Dark Knight thing where people forget that Heath Ledger's only in that movie for 15 minutes in total.
That is crazy.
Crazy. Anyway, that's a good lesson for all you wannabe filmmakers. Anyway, yeah, cool. So now we officially do the transition. It does the 7 minutes later thing. 7 minutes. 7 years later thing. I still think Endgame did that Fade to Black the best that's ever been done. Anyway, mission accomplished, setting up the world and the type of characters we're going to be dealing with stepping into the future. We jump 7 years into the future. The Black Stand By Me stuff is gone, and we open behind a tracking shot of a kid. The kid runs out of the house, runs out to a house party, and we see whose child it is. And we see that we see Ricky, it's Ricky's child. We see Ricky's mother. And we see that, Ricky's got a girlfriend. And my God, that was some of the most horrifying kissing I've ever seen in the movie.
That was the most lustful kissing. Like, are you guys acting? It seems like you guys wanna.
It was like he was about to be like, you know what? Forget this party, girl. It was like he was about to be like, forget this party, girl. Let's like they forgot guests were there,
bruh. Because that's clearly John Singleton's directing there. It's like, guys, I want you guys to make sure that you give the audience the impression that y'all are humping like rabbits. That's exactly what that was.
Yeah, dog, and they worked hard at it.
And in front of his mom also.
But and that's the thing, and this is where like what's this? The mom, like her parenting skills are just, they are lacking, because like I don't think you should just like, you don't just offhandedly say that's how you get another one. You should just be like, hey, when are we cooking? Focus. Put the woman down, you idiot.
Yeah.
Like, she kept on coddling Ricky because Ricky had a future. And it's just like, the other thing is you're breaking Ricky in a sense, because you're communicating to Ricky that he's the last hope of the family.
Also,
and that type of pressure.
Also that he can get away with anything.
Oh yeah. He's an entire child there. He can get away with a lot. Which, by the way, interesting reality. Is it unique? Is it interesting? I mean, clever or unique that there's so few of that Ricky's mother doesn't actually have any friends there. Like, do you think that's a casting thing, or that's a deliberate choice by the director?
No, that's deliberate. Also, remember, there's a few
Ricky's mother's wild.
There's a few things that they said initially, which I heard from the Black Pastors podcast. Shout out to the Black Pastors podcast. They said Furious used to chill with Doughboy's mom.
Yes.
If you remember when we saw Trey,
he
said, "Where's your dad? Why isn't he playing cards with us like he used to?"
Yes.
So you could tell that there was a time where Furious just got tired of that woman's shit, and he's like, fuck it.
Well, yes, he mentioned it later.
Still interacting with the kids, because when Trey comes in to his dad's house, Doughboy and Chris were with the dad, and the dad was Furious was asking them how they're doing, how's life, and all of that.
Yes,
you could see he was the kids and all, but he was done with the mom.
Yeah, he said, in fact, there's a scene later on where he says if she wasn't talking too much,
Yes,
it might have
when
been
he gets the
something there.
barbecue and
Yes,
stuff. Yeah, you're right.
exactly.
Hey guys,
Give me.
Lawrence Fishburne was thin. I was like,
Hey,
Jesus.
dog. Right? He wasn't even like buff, but thin. I guess in those days, nowadays every black actor is buff. You know what I mean? With the exception of maybe what's his name? Lakeith Stanfield. I think he's like the only skinny black actor. Everyone else is buff, and I'm sure he's probably buff by now. But in those days, you could get away with being skinny, and you could get away with being fat, really. But anyway,
Yeah.
I know it's just a weird thing to notice in these movies.
Like even
After situation set up,
in Nightmare on Elm Street, he looked like that, if you remember.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, so
did you say
where are we
LM?
now?
Man,
was the
guys, I'm black, man. Hey,
That was
man.
the blackest thing
I'm black and
ever heard you
African.
say.
LM
LM
Street.
Street. Yo! Yo!
Nightmare on Elm
Rob,
Street,
where are we?
boss.
Rob, next scene. Where are we? Where are we, dog? Let's get back to the list.
Dog, I don't know if you remember, but Robin was surprised at how I pronounced Mandela, dog. I was like, Mandela. She's like, why do you say it like that? In my head, I'm like, most people pronounce Mandela like that. We don't say Mandela or whatever. Mandela.
I wonder what she was. Okay, but yeah. I know Mandela sounds right. Anyway, after the situation is set up, yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay, the girlfriend. Okay, yeah, cool. Cool. We see an older version of the kids. Now we see all the kids together. After the situation has been set up, after we set up the environment, we see that Trey enters the fray. Exactly.
Iconic domino, motherfuckers.
Yes.
Because we start
from
Adult
Don't Be a
Doughboy.
Menace.
Oh yeah, from Doughboy, and then
Yes.
also like he says, you guys want to bank spades and all of that stuff.
Exactly.
And I'm
so
like,
anyway,
guys, okay, what's Dookie's problem? Guys, I've always had a problem with Dookie since I was a kid. Nigga, why do you have a pacifier in your mouth? You're an adult, dog. You're a grown ass man.
No, I think what they're trying to say is I mean, you know,
It's a metaphor.
Did Baby Boy. Yeah, so it's a metaphor, and I think also it's that thing of like there's mental illness in the hood, but people don't know how to deal with it, so they just kind of brush it off, and then it becomes a little bit more destructive later, and then people have arrested development as a personality trait.
You've just changed my whole life because you answered a question that's been bothering me for decades, dog. Like, it makes so much sense, in fact. Like, I just didn't understand, but now it makes perfect sense. That nigga is a man, baby. Like, I get it. I get the visual metaphor. I didn't get it before. I just thought that Dookie was trying to look cool, but like, yeah.
He was trying to look cool, but okay, fair enough. I like that idea. Because they wouldn't identify it anyway.
Baby Boy, I'm just like, this is him pre-Baby Boy setting
up. That's probably how we got the idea for Baby Boy. Who knows? Makes sense.
Who knows? Maybe he had a boy baby that was a boy. We never know what these things. Anyway.
Come to AfricanFrame for the dissection, guys, and then the analysis. But anyway.
It's what we do. Anyway, situation. Trey enters the fray. Doughboy's mother gives him a little talk. We're gonna get some exposition. This is Doughboy's Darren. He's out of prison party, and Trey has been doing okay with himself. He's got a job. He's working, even if it's retail. It also appears as though he isn't around that often. So only a few people know him that well. There's also seems to be a surprise. At first, did anyone else feel a coldness at the table when he greeted, by the way? Did anyone else feel like a coldness at the table?
There is a like Trey himself, he kind of looks uncomfortable as he's like walking through the. I mean, okay, first off and foremost, I was just like, yo, Singleton, you should have casted a lighter skinned kid, because I was like, these can't be the two same people. But anyway, moving that aside.
It was a cold winter, dog. It was that Game of Thrones winter.
The White Walkers came and changed his whole complexion. But anyway.
So clearly the light in the grocery store has really given him some fantastic.
Or his skin went Super Saiyan. But anyway, he looks very uncomfortable as he's like walking through the party. You can see like he doesn't really want to touch anybody. He doesn't really want to talk to anybody. He's kind of, and even when the mom is talking to him, he doesn't want to promise her anything. Like
yeah, because the mom is like, talk to Doughboy about this whole going to jail thing. I get that they were best friends, but yo, mom, that's a toll.
Like I think the thing is like Trey he's in between Furious and Reva in a sense. Like there's almost like he could go either way. Like he could go into high society or he could go right into hood politics type thing.
Is the Cyclops of the situation.
Yeah. So what's happening is that in this situation, basically, Cuba Gooding Jr. is teetering left and right. It's supposed to be symbolic of him trying to balance between the world of where he's trying to progress, where he's got a job and everything, but he knows these people. So it was actually a really good shot. Movies. Why am I thinking this deeply about a movie, guys?
Welcome to AfricanFrame, Mama.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, welcome to the team.
One thing I'm struggling with, and I've been struggling with this for a very long time. It's the drip, man. Trey's drip just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, he looked decent here. But in the rest of the movies, I'm like, my nigga, what are you wearing? Like,
and the other thing is like, and then like a lot of women are treating him like he's the finest person there, and I'm like, the finest person is Ricky. The finest person is Ricky. Like, why are we
now? Why Versace colors today? Man was ahead of his time. I know what you want to talk about.
This thing of trying to make Cuba Gooding Jr. more handsome than Morris Chestnut. I was like, it's not.
That makes no sense. I'm like, okay. I mean, I bought it because the way Regina King was talking about him, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's Regina King acting her ass off. But I was just like, look, and before anybody says it, no, I'm not gay. I just know a good-looking man when I see one. There's a big difference.
But going back to what you're saying, Buck, it's a good point because I remember even, that small talk just to avoid the awkwardness, nyana. Where it's like, hey, man, I see you gain some pounds. It's like, nah, bro. You know how it is. You hit the gym at the pen and all of that. You could tell that he was just trying to break the ice. Yeah.
But again, purposeful.
Definitely, but this felt
purposeful because, like, again, you can sense that there's space between them, and like, what's this? You can sense that Trey is reluctant to reconnect with.
He's not one of the boys.
Yeah, so he's just like, I'm gonna talk about something that means virtually nothing to us. Like, this is not. This doesn't mean anything to us. And Doughboy as well, because he's been reading, because he's actually been elevating while in prison. He's also worried about reconnecting with Trey because he's starting to see the effect that he had on Trey's life.
No, definitely.
I don't know. That's what I read into it when I saw it because even Doughboy,
which is good. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, no, that's 100%.
You also make me realize that he was probably reading books to catch up to Trey.
And also it explains why he never said anything when he got out the car. But that's for later. No, that's highly relevant. But anyway, we see that Trey and that girl from one of the early scenes, she's grown up too, and they seem to be eyeing each other. And then it cuts to, of course, Regina, the scene we discussed where Regina just goes, "I see P coming, I leave. She saw P coming, she stayed." No, I'm joking. That's in the Boondocks, of course. If you guys understand.
Riley and Huey.
She's the voice of Huey, exactly, of Riley and Huey. Anyway, and then we see, as this girl defends her man, we see that they are actually together. So it's not just
but this is where you see Trey do one of the most dumbest young men things. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just as I get older, but you just see him do a dumb thing where it's just like, no, I'm trying to run game on her. I'm like, what you're doing is getting her to break up with you.
That's
what you're doing.
That's the worst thing you can ever do. This is anti-Reeves. It's like anti-Reeves, dog. She came for you, my G. But Joe, I think we all went through that phase where you think you're being cool, but you're just being a dumbass. Even Ricky was like, yo, what are you doing? Is my game working on her? It's like, nah, fam. She's bouncing. Like,
No, but that's the other thing. Yeah. Like you get to see that Ricky, because he's actually a pretty boy, and I think also because he's been in quote unquote a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
He sees that Trey, that was a dumbass move.
But Jumpy is already a virgin, you know what I mean? We can clearly see that.
Yeah, of course. Yes, it's virgin active. Exactly. It's those tendencies when you
hilarious.
With no with a permanent subscription.
Permanent subscription, yes.
That's hilarious.
Okay, but yeah, it's a great moment, and then the party ends, and and then he goes home, and we see that there's a baby in the middle of the street.
Just before,
okay, yeah,
he speaks to her, right? He speaks to her because
yes,
and then they call them for the food.
Yeah, okay.
And then when they gather up there, Trey all of a sudden just wants to be the alpha male for some reason. It's like, yo, you know, what's wrong with you niggas?
No, I think he realized he messed up. And he was like, hey, damage control.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to be cool, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not even alpha male. He was just trying to be like a.
No, I think he realized that he pissed her off, and he was like, "I have to do something.
I need to fix it.
Doughboy." And then also, this is where him and Doughboy reconnect as boys again.
Yeah.
It's such a stupid situation, but Doughboy immediately has Trey's back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but then he ruins it, which is interesting by calling Regina a B word. He ruins the moment.
Yeah. I have a conspiracy theory about that.
About Doughboy, though. But here's the thing that's interesting about Doughboy. I mean, we'll see it again later in the movie.
Yeah.
His language is disrespectful, but his demeanor isn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
I just wanted to say
that's like a weird juxtaposition.
I have a conspiracy theory, though. You remember the next movie that Ice Cube does after this is Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who plays his sister in Friday?
Also Regina.
Yeah. So you know what I think happened? I think someone told him that, in fact, the way you treated that woman in that movie was so abysmal. You need to fix the shit. It's like, okay, fine. I'm going to get her again, and I'm going to make her my sister, and I'm going to make her my older sister or something, and I'm going to treat her like gold. I think that's what happened. I could be wrong, but I think that's exactly what
I think the publicist came out and they were like, Ice Cube, you're trying to be in Hollywood. You can't just be calling this women.
That is very meta, guys. That is very meta. You guys must get your Facebook shares. That's very meta thinking. I don't mind. That's good. I like it. But I actually think I have my own theory on that one, but I'm going to go into it later. Right. You'll see when. It involves the scene where they talk to the guys in red, but we'll get there.
Guys, I need to use the low. I'll be back, but please continue.
All righty. We'll keep it going. Cool. So yeah, we see. God damn it! I must have moved. Oh yeah, the baby in the street, and he brings to pick up the child, takes him to that mother, who turns out to be a massive crackhead.
Yeah. But this is where also you get to see that Trey still has like some sense and has some empathy.
Yeah. Oh no, of course, because that's like what his dad would do, and he's trying to be like, supportive. And anyway, on his home, so yeah, he's walking home when a second car shows up, and this one opens up the windows and points a gun at him. And then they threaten him.
Terrifying. Oh my God, you're just going home and now there's a shotgun in your face.
Dude, that was flipping insane. All in the same street. But anyway, they laugh at him, they call him a mark, and then they drive away. Now, there's a lot of weight being carried here, and they're setting up a lot of elements. And my favorite thing that you never really see in these kinds of movies, you kind of see them in modern movies, is the use of color. We kind of see like a green car stop for the baby, and Trey saves the baby, and the people inside seem worried about the kid. And then we see the red car, which is the one that threatens him with an old school shotgun from like before World War II.
And all of that stuff, and red is danger and destruction.
Exactly. I mean, and also just that gun from that like World War II shotgun, like double barrel. Am I playing Doom?
That gun that came from Looney Tunes. That's Elmer Fudd's. That's Elmer Fudd's weapon.
You know what I mean? Yes.
I'm like, that's what Elmer Fudd was using to try and kill Bugs Bunny. I was like, where'd you get this cartoon ass gun?
And I'm like, if it was any other country, I'd understand. But it's America. This is a pre-World World War II shotgun. What are we talking about here? But at the same time, what I like about it is that it's unique. It stands out. You're like, okay, that is what a shotgun looks like, and you understand the absolute danger is in. So it's very effective, and I love that. And anyway, we transfer back into the house, and we see that Trey is talking to his father, Trey and Furious, and he kind of gets his father to cut his hair. They're talking. We discussed about the
apparently
mother
Furious is
talking
a
too much.
5%er, which I mean speaks to why he's always like, you gotta think, brother, because like
What's a
he said,
5%er?
basically Nation of Islam. So it's kind of like people
The
who
pork
are
thing. Yeah.
so it's kind of like people who are like they don't follow all of the tenets of Islam like to the letter, but
Yeah.
like things that make sense to them, they adopted into their lifestyle. So one of the things is not eating swine and all of that
Yes.
stuff. But they'll still like drink, and but like that's what makes them like a 5% or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
I don't
No, I
know all of
understand.
the technicalities behind it.
Of the rules, yeah. It's
There's
very
a lot
Church of England.
history.
Okay, no, I
Yeah,
understand.
there's a lot of history behind it and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It like originated with the guy who was the original mentor of Malcolm X. I forget his name. The Honorable Elijah
The one the
Muhammad.
movie says that they try to get him killed. The Honorable Muhammad something, yeah.
Yeah. And but there's a whole it's a whole thing. It's not it's very complicated. But anyway, yeah, I think he's a 5%.
Yeah, even in they even make reference of it where like Muhammad Ali turned his back on Malcolm X, but that's its own story, of course. So anyway, his father's cutting his hair, and this seems like a special moment. Trey seems to be feeling something especially like seems to be appreciative of the moment, and they're laughing together and having fun, and they kind of have this extended father and son moment. There's something that you notice about this whole movie is that there's probably been music playing the whole time. There's been sounds of the street, sounds of music playing the whole time, and this joyful kind of like borderline church jazz as Trey starts to talk about his first sexual experience as his dad can smell the virgin on him.
Because I think the other thing is that Trey says something about is this the scene where he says something about grandkids, and then Furious is like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yes, what are you talking about? Yes, but then it's like then he looks at him, he's like, have you even had sex? And he's like, yes. And then he tells this entire story about a girl approaching
and
him.
You're just like, I could feel the lie from here. I was
the conversation in that story was just like, there's no way, dog.
No, like there's no way a woman like sees a group of people and she walks to you specifically,
a group of diggers.
And you're not, and I'm saying, and you're not famous. You're not like a big shot. You're not the person.
You don't even seem like the alpha in that group, dog. You're just some lame ass nigga in the group.
You hate Trey too much, but yes, he did not seem like the main character in that moment.
Trey, but
no, I think Trey's an amazing character. I understand what you say, but yeah, it's just like that would happen to Ricky.
Yeah, Trey. Bro, Trey has no riz, my G. Like, but anyway,
his shirts are spectacular.
That's why you're mad at him when he's doing what he did to Nia Long in the movie, whatever. I forget the name. I'm just like, my G. It is a miracle you scored this. Focus. What is this? I'm running game. He'll be gone tomorrow.
Anyway, anyway, like she's like, no, I want. He's like, she's like, is this your car? He's like, yes.
Yep.
Do you want to should I? Do you want to
teach me how to drive?
Do you want to be in the ride? And she's like, no, I want to ride it. And he's like, can you ride a stick or something? Or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, can you ride stick? In other words,
no way he spoke to a stranger like this and it led to sex.
Not with the way his parents.
And then they clapped. The thing that's missing there is that you forgot to add the word, and then they clapped. And they raised him on his shoulders and they walked him down the street. That's the part that's missing in that part of that story.
And to show that story was not true, who are those other niggas that were with them in that story? Because they were nowhere in real life though. He's always just chilling with Ricky. Always just with
exactly.
So who are those?
Yeah, Ricky's his best friend.
And then after that, Furious loses it. But you can see Furious doesn't believe him. But he's just like, I still have to tell him anyway. Because Furious is just like, what did I tell you about using the rubber? Use a rubber.
Oh no, like if your girl tells you that she's on the pill, use a rubber anyway, chief.
Oh yeah, that was
Oh, hey
great.
guys, just yeah, the special PSA. Always stay gloved up unless you're prepared.
Straight
Like it
up.
doesn't
Yeah, to
matter.
take responsibility.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
on you, chief.
But
You must
Firas,
be ready.
but Firas was just saying like it's not just about pregnancy, dude. Like your dick can fall off.
Mm.
That's what he said. It's like you need to think bigger, dude. You
Which
know?
is so funny because what you call it, the kid with the guy with the pacifier, they were like messing him with that when they gave him that full AIDS speech.
Oh
And
Oh
yeah.
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 He was like, you guys are joking, right? You guys are joking, right? You guys are joking, right? No, really, you guys are joking. Beautiful. I love
No,
that
and then
moment.
again, just to quickly touch back on that scene again, it shows the intelligence of Doughboy because again, Doughboy in hood terms basically gives this guy sex education, and it's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And remember back
100%.
back in those days, around that time, AIDS
oh
was
yeah,
like COVID, bro. It was a big
Oh,
deal.
oh, 1,000 times worse than COVID,
Fatal
bro. But
AF.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we're 45 minutes in. Can you believe it? After all this time, we've been here for like an hour and a half. We're only 45 minutes in. We opened on Trey and Ricky headed out. Trey is still pissed about the whole conversation he had with the dad. As it turns out, yes, he is still a virgin, was lying about the whole thing.
why
But
would
it's
you
really
lie
what
to annoy your dad?
do you know what I mean?
I
No,
would
And
I
never
don't
do
think
that.
I don't think
bravado.
he didn't want to annoy his dad. He just wanted to look
It's
cool.
just bravado. Yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah,
want to
but
look
I'm
like a
just saying,
virgin.
I would not see the point in trying to like. I can see myself telling that story to a homie. I would not be telling that
Yes.
story to my dad.
Actually, that's actually interesting subversion that you mentioned there because it's interesting that he's willing to lie to the father, but then tell the truth to the homie
To Ricky,
that
yeah.
he's a virgin.
But that's
That's
also
actually an
realistic,
interesting.
by the way. It's just that
I'm saying
it's
it's
used
realistic.
used
It's
in a
just that
different scenario
if
here.
my dad ever, if my dad ever cornered me like that's the last story I'd be telling.
No, no, no. I'm just saying
Yeah,
it's
but
used
that's
in a
like a
different
reversal.
scenario, but usually kids lie to their parents and tell the truth to their
Yeah,
friends.
but you'd almost
Not
think
not
it's
with
like a
sex.
home.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying with other stuff.
Yeah,
yes,
but
with
yeah,
other
that's what I'm
things.
saying. That's
Yes,
the specific subversion here that's surprising. But anyway,
yeah, and I think it's very unique. But as it turns out, yes, the connection with father is just that powerful. And then we see Trey and Ricky's bond as they kind of joke together in the car. Things are kind of slowing down now. And now, as it turns out, they're going to school. So now we kind of get this weird extended montage now. This is like a slow dialogue heavy montage as they basically play like this jazz music in the background. We see the Trey and Ricky hanging out. We see Trey is trying to pressure his girl into sex. Um, we see Doughboy and his boys beating up a thief. If you know, this scene has been represented perfectly in what's it? Don't Be a Menace. One of the
Yeah.
funniest
Where he was
parodies
squashed
ever.
like a pancake, right?
Yes.
But also I think that scene
Mhm.
was probably inspired by the Godfather scene where Sonny was beating his brother-in-law. You
Mm.
remember when
Yeah, of course.
Sonny's sister,
Yeah.
there was a
And that's
GBV
what gets him
moment?
killed. Yes.
Yeah. I think that's what happened
That's what
because
gets him killed
you
in the
see the
future.
action from a distance. You
Yeah.
see the guy getting his ass kicked.
Oh, definitely. And that's entirely possible.
Yeah.
we also just
And
wanted
yeah,
to ask that, bruh, like, if you were gonna run that slow, why did you try to steal it?
he bumped into a bin, bro.
Well, nah,
Anyway, it's ridiculous.
you better be clearing that thing like an athlete with hurdles. Like you should have just been over that thing like and by it. It is not like now you got your ass kicked and they dumped trash on top of you.
But I think
Dog, and you know they beat him bad.
Buck, sorry, Rob, you make a good point because the three main characters is Doughboy, Ricky, and Prey.
Right, yeah.
But then they're
Yeah.
giving us different moments where they're not together. You know,
Oh yeah.
Ricky's at school doing his football
Hmm.
thing. Trey is having a conversation with his girlfriend about sex
Oh yeah.
and being ready and whatever. And then you see Doughboy just chilling with his homies, whether he's making on some Latino woman or, you know, they're just beating some guy up or Or Chris is just playing with his wheelchair for no reason, you know. But shout out to that actor, man.
You're just like, what happened to you, Chris? Because you were walking when you were a kid.
No, apparently in the storyline he got shot sometime.
Yes.
Yeah, sometime.
No, that's what I know. Yeah, he got shot.
Furious says it, but it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, like what? I wish we'd seen that. Yeah. But yeah,
that guy is actually wheelchair bound for real.
Okay, that explains why he's so good with it. But yeah, anyway, this is a very unique way of doing a montage. Again, like you said, Doughboy is talking to a Latino. Trey is fighting for his life for the sex. Like it's some kind of deep debate with like a presidential debate. That's how hard this man is fighting for it.
Right.
And of course, Ricky is trying to master his school stuff. These are like these bread and butter scenes. They set up the motivation for every character to kind of set up what they're kind of doing. And I won't lie to you, I completely forgot this was in the movie. Like, you know what I mean? Because I haven't watched this movie in a long time. So like rewatching, I was like,
yeah, bro. I was also surprised. Like, what the hell is going on
here? Yeah. Cool. So now we're at the 50-minute mark, which is almost basically the halfway mark. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more. Let me do this one last scene. We see the phone call bringing us back to reality with them talking to Trey's mother, who's now living very different. She's clearly made it in life. She's living with leather couches. There's clearly a skyline. Things are gorgeous out there, and she has clearly made it.
Hey, minus one problem.
Yeah.
Which again, that's why when I was like, well, I guess we'll get to it next time. But when there was like a scene in the movie where things went really pear-shaped, I would have been on the phone the next day. Is there a spare room? I am out.
I wouldn't have even said that. I've been on the bus already. I'm almost there. Make sure you got the keys. I'm almost there. I'm 15 minutes away. But yeah.
But I just wanted to say something about that. Like, Trey and his mom dealt with loneliness differently. Trey's mom is lonely now that Trey's gone. But Trey going back to his mom will make him lonely.
Oh, yeah.
Because his homies are actually in Los Angeles or California, wherever they were.
100%. Yeah. And it's obviously still in school. So you can just find new homies.
No power of friendship here. I was like, hey, dog. After that,
definitely.
I was like, hey, the power of friendship is not sustaining us here.
That's actually a real thing, by the way. There are people that actually, I don't remember which podcast I was listening to, but the person was saying the reason they chose their dad instead of their mom, when he had to choose between the two, it's not like he actually chose his dad because he wanted to be with his dad. He chose his homies. He didn't want to leave those niggas. He would rather, that's why he chose to be with them than to be with his mom. I'm like, oh,
that's why you'll see, that's why you hear stories about fathers who like buy a house across the street from their kid. So that way, you don't have to choose, you don't have to make a sacrifice decision like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, not just Kanye West, but you hear other stories about that stuff. It's not just the crazy guy.
That's why I was like, hey, Furious Dog, I think it's time to move. I think you can give knowledge and then you can go back to Beverly Hills. But anyway.
Do you know what I mean? Because we would have done that. We would have like, we can make new friends. We'd be like,
just visit on weekends and do rallies.
Exactly.
Yeah, in West Philadelphia, born and raised in the playground.
You know what I mean?
I'm out.
I'm out.
Go home to Bel Air.
For me, bro, after the break-in, I would have bounced.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I'd be like, I apologize. I've made a terrible mistake. I will never do it again.
And I guess it also explains why he always has thrust balls. Because what are those thrust balls for? It's the choices the choice that he made to still stay there. That's thrusting him out.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that hood life. Anyway, we see that things have changed. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we see how connected the father and son are as they both answer the phone in the most ridiculous way. Who this? And it's like, eh!
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I was like, eh! Who this? But But anyway, we see that things have really changed, but Reva wants her son back, but now Trey's father is the one keeping her away, and things are just this dynamic is completely different, and now we are basically hitting the midpoint. It's this scene and just the one after it where we kind of discover where we establish the two set goals and the two kind of like peaks of the two main characters. Of the two of the three main characters. Why not even say all three, actually? That montage is kind of the peak of Doughboy, where he's like talking to these girls and living with his friends. That's like his peak. And then over here is him living at home with his dad. Got his thing. Only thing about is his girl. He's sorted. And then the next scene is, of course, Ricky with the so and so. And that's kind of like it kind of hits you with this. It's a midpoint high, by the way. For those who guys don't know, if you've been keeping track to our podcast, is that the word? Yes, podcast. What we like to do is keep track of what is it? Is a midpoint high or a midpoint low? For those who don't know, when it hits a midpoint high, it means what's about to happen next is about to go down. And if you hit a midpoint low, it means what's about to happen next, things are about to go up. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now.
But
so yeah,
Trey was
things
not
are
having a good time at all.
After the next.
That small scene right there was just showing how messed up his relationship with his parents,
True.
the relationship between his parents is, because
Yes.
that phone call started very calm, chilled. Then it's Woody, don't raise your voice at me. I told him to wear rubbers. I always tell him about the rubber. And the fact that it started with Furious banging the door, then Trey banging the door, because Trey doesn't want to hear that nonsense. You know?
Yeah, that's
That
true.
for me was just brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let's
Kutsu, do you want to pour? Yeah, of course, things would be so perfect here.
What
So do you want to like chill here and then we can the microphone is far back. Could you say it again?
Oh, it's on. Yo, I need to get a different mic. Anyway, I was just saying the thing is like you can see that if they were a family, the way things would be so totally different for everyone involved. But because these two cannot communicate to save their lives, they always have to argue. It's like
100%.
Yeah.
So, Kutsu, do you want to pause it here and then we do the second half another time, or what? Because it's already 11 o'clock. I don't know.
If it was up to me, we would just go through this whole thing. But I do understand that maybe you guys are exhausted. But
I'm good. But
yeah,
you want to go for another 2 hours?
You want to go, Rob? I'm still fine.
Oh, okay.
All right,
well,
cool,
I don't know. When Arkham keeps you busy, so we don't know.
No. I'm fine. Tomorrow I'll just wake up late. Fuck it. Let's go.
Okay. That's fine. Okay, cool. So we see things are different between the two sons, between Ricky and Doughboy. Which is crazy because when you think about how it's all set up, you would believe that this drama is its own movie, but it's just a tiny element of a single environment. We also get this wonderful play of music and drama as the car pulls up slowly, and it's set up, and you kind of get this. It's been doing this for a while, but it continues the setup of them living dangerously. Like, who could this car be? Yeah, it's doing it beautifully.
Oh, this is when the recruiter comes through, ne?
Exactly. Yo, this thing of mine. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, because they does anybody know where Ricky, I forget the last name, where Ricky lives? And because Doughboy and them, they look like they are ready to get active.
Ready to square up. Yeah, because if you remember, he said, pick up Chris or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case it's a drive-by.
Exactly. But yeah. We also get this wonderful play of music and and it turns out to be a genuinely great fake out. I love it because of just how things get so dark so quickly, and it lets you remember this is not a fun place. I mean, we've just had a few fun scenes, and this is not a fun place. So just it gives you a reminder, snaps you back to reality almost. So anyway, we see the college recruiter as he comes to see Ricky. I love this little moment with where he's talking to the boys outside. That's basically what I call them, the boys. It's interesting, but I love how realistic it is because you always get people that talk like that. What can I do about it? Can I get one too?
There's always that one guy. That's trying to
Dog, I
find.
swear.
Yeah. I used to play baseball.
Aggressive about
Can I
it.
get
Yeah.
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 Like,
Yeah.
that, I don't think they give out scholarships for what people used to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And you can't just say no to him because that'll just get you into more trouble. So yeah, I love that. I thought that was really well done. But anyway, this moment I consider to be it's okay. I consider this moment to be interesting, but I almost feel like it doesn't do as much as you think it would do as a scene. What it is instead, what I would define it is what I call an atmosphere scene. Which of course, Kutso, you know, I'm a writer and I obsess with atmosphere. I think atmosphere is more important than some actual plot elements in storytelling. So I think that's what they're doing here. And it goes very far in terms of atmosphere. In terms of plot, one can question. In terms of raw atmosphere of what the life is like, it's great. And then we enter the home, and you can see how quickly different how the attitudes are with Ricky compared to the others. Not that how the attitude between the recruiter with Ricky compared to the recruiter with the others. He doesn't have ill will. He's not like the policeman. He's just he's from a different reality. He's not even like the teacher.
He's pensive around these guys because he sees people without a future, and then when he gets to Ricky, he sees somebody with a future. So I think he's trying to nurture Ricky, but he's like, these guys, I can't help them.
And
I wouldn't say it's negative.
Doughboy was on his best behavior, though.
Oh, yeah. But I'm not even saying it's negative. I think negative is not the word. I think he has sympathy for the guys outside. And also the way it's framed, again, like you were saying, intentional. It's dark outside. It's dark and dangerous outside. And then when we get inside the house, it's bright colors, it's bright lights.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like to symbolize that he's stepping away from the darkness into somebody who has light in his life, aka Ricky.
That's the potential. Definitely a potential answer.
Yeah. That's something Zuko would have said. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah.
But yeah, so we enter the home and we see and so there's now we start to notice a few things. Throughout the entire movie, there's been this constant use of music. We've mentioned it before, but now all the music is gone. Now there's only the sound of a helicopter. There's cars screeching. There's police sirens. They drum out the entire area. Now they can barely speak. It's so flippin' loud, actually. It's almost ridiculous. But I really enjoy what they're doing here.
There's two things.
And then it becomes its own message.
Going back to what you guys have been saying this whole time, I didn't think about it, but now I'm thinking about it. Like how Ricky's always babied. Like how his girlfriend is fixing his tie for him. Like, and he's just eating. He's just not even that interested in doing this thing himself. It's like everybody
he doesn't have to
has
be clever.
treat this guy like gold. He's the golden boy.
He's a lottery ticket.
No, I mean, to the point where they even have to call him out for his own meeting, and he's not rushing at all.
Yeah, because
he knows that he knows his mom will step in to keep the recruiter there.
Yeah, 100%.
That's messed up, dog.
But
it's very baby boyish, if you want to say that. But
no, I'm saying like that's the thing between the two of them. They're both immature, but in very different ways.
Jody's worse. I think Ricky's better. Jody. Yeah. No, Jody is.
No. I'm not talking about Jody, but I'm talking about Doughboy and Ricky. I'm saying like because if
the brothers.
The way.
No. No, that's true. Doughboy is more self-sufficient, actually.
Oh yeah, no, he could live a full life,
but he doesn't have a control on his impulses.
Yeah, he's got vices.
Whereas Ricky is very dependent, but he has better control of his impulses, if that makes sense.
I would say he's got better impulses, but I agree with what you're saying. I just think he has better impulses.
Okay, no. Yeah, actually, no. Actually, they're both equally impulsive. It's just Ricky's impulses are more positive.
More positive. Exactly. I think that's what it is. Yes, because of his sheltered ways. I think that's fantastic. That's absolutely true. So, like I said, the loudest helicopter in the world. As this just keeps going, you'll notice that the sound never stops. It's bumping our shoulders. It's nudging us. It's trying to make us known to the point where while having a conversation, you can see Ricky like looking up, because it's so flippin' loud. It's trying,
you can even see
and it's
light
so
through
funny.
the windows as well. Like every time they're
Exactly.
having a conversation, there's just a little light in the corner.
Yeah. And then it's also hilarious. This little funny side note is just how they treat the SATs as something unique and unheard of, bro. They're like, oh yeah, the what? The SATs? What's that?
But I think
And
that
it's
was
like,
just
what are you
John
talking
Singleton's
about?
way of just informing the audience.
No, I mean, like, yeah, it's unfortunately in certain areas there's just things people don't know. So you grow up as a sports major, and you like college wasn't a big deal. Also, remember, it's not a house of education. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
not like
know,
the
but
college.
it just seems extreme. But I hear what you're saying. No, I hear you.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying it seems extreme, but like this, in giving with the themes of the movie, regular stuff doesn't like again at the beginning time like a kid knew how plasma is shed from platelets and blood cells and things, but he didn't know the times tables. So it's like just
No, I
saying
hear
to
you.
them that yeah, things that are regular to other people, they're just not regular to these people, and things that are irregular to these people are regular to them and irregular to us.
Yeah.
So
Oh no, definitely. Oh no, definitely. But anyway, yeah. So moving on. I just thought I noticed that. But you'll notice there's been like this building tension, like something's about to happen. You kind of feel it in the air.
yeah.
But positively, things end with no drama. The recruiter doesn't burst into flames. There's no drive-by. You know what I mean? Like you think something's gonna go
Hey man,
wrong.
I expected him to walk into a bullet when the door opened. I didn't know where the bullet
You
was
know what
gonna
I
come
mean?
from, but I was
That's
like,
You know
come,
what
hilarious.
I mean?
That's
Yes.
hilarious.
like you know, it's like when I'll see you later, and then later never comes. You're just like,
You know what I mean? Yeah. They steal his car, take his pets. You know what? But anyway, I feel like what instead of that happening, I feel like the background noises, they did the job of providing tension to the scene enough for instead of some being some surprise. So I thought that was fantastic. Great work by Singleton. Anyway, we see Ricky's mother just being so proud of him. And we immediately notice that as soon as the tension's gone, the music comes back and it stays back. It's loud, it's energetic. We're back to the positive vibes. Right up until the end of the exam. I also thought the SAT test was funny because I mean, okay, this is a pet peeve of mine because I'm pretty sure the T in SAT stands for test. So to say SAT test is annoying. It's like saying ATM machine. I wish people wouldn't do that. But anyway, this scene's to me personally, I think this scene makes a little bit less sense than you would think, but I think it also keeps to the atmosphere. I'm talking about the test itself, by the way. I've with the classroom design, like what classroom exam is this? SAT, everyone takes it at the same time.
Cheating. You're just facilitating cheating.
Exactly.
Like I can look across the table from the guy who's writing.
Even in America, they take exams like we take our matric exams. It doesn't look like this. But again, I think he was going for a vibe. He was going for a vibe. He wasn't trying to be realistic. He's going for atmosphere instead of realism. Okay. So yeah. 62 minutes in, they visit Trey's father after the exams are done. And we finally they finally say his name like properly for the first time, only 60 minutes in. They say it more often after this. And you know, the whole story, Mr. Furious. I just thought hearing his name as well. But anyway.
What was his parents on when they named him?
Dog, right?
Were they pissed off? What's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
Like when he came out,
when
he came out the womb, he wasn't crying.
He was growling, dog. He was like, "My people." His first words were "my people."
He came out the womb with the kufi. Black power, man.
Exactly what happened. But anyway, cool. He's like, okay, kids, seeing as how you guys are here, I'm gonna teach you guys a lesson because that's basically this man's job, is to teach us a lesson. So we move to a random street corner, which leaves Ricky and Trey nervous because they're in Compton, is that what they said, right?
Yeah.
Because they're from Crenshaw and they're in Compton right now, which is not their hood.
Which is weird because it's just like Crenshaw is equally as dangerous from what we've seen. I don't know why you guys would be shaking.
No, but that's actually realistic. There's places like, let's say, you're in Tembisa and then you have to go to Alex or vice versa. You are more familiar with your place, but you're not familiar with the place. So you're not quite sure.
The bullets fly all the same. I'd be terrified either way.
Yeah, either way, yeah. For us, both ways, doesn't matter. Anyway, we move to a street corner where Mr. Furious doesn't care about the dangers around him. He's teaching an important lesson. And we get a lesson in gentrification. The talk is so good, it attracts the gangbangers and a random old man. And they all have like a powwow session together. And you're like, yeah, all right. And after all that,
kind of reminds me of that joke from it kind of reminds me of that joke from Everybody Hates Chris, where Chris is where the gangbanger was like bullying Chris or whatever, and then Chris's dad shows up and is like, I'm gonna be there. And then it's like, he wasn't surprised that my father showed up. He was surprised that that he saw a father or something. So it was just like the gangbangers were just like, is that a dad? What's happening here?
Right.
Cool. But anyway, yeah, after all that depth, we just get to see Doughboy. We've only seen these boys working the streets or hitting on girls. But now we really get to see them like hanging out for fun. And we move on to Doughboy's perspective as they get to like chill. And they get to talk about God and the bitches. Which is its own just great conversation.
This is where where Doughboy, he actually compliments women as a whole and says that they're a credit to society, but because of the language he uses, the whole entire thing is lost.
He messes up the whole message. Yeah.
Exactly, because he's like, if God was a woman, the world would have been better. So he can't be a woman. Yeah. And then it's like bitches, and it's like, dude.
But this is where you get he's like, again, brilliant editing or brilliant writing. I don't know if this is how they were trying to contrast it. You listen to Furious and you listen to Doughboy. Doughboy sounds like he's on his way to be furious. Like he just needs a little bit more space. He would have been not furious exactly, but it's like he's going in that direction. And then
you know what it is?
This environment keeps tripping him up.
No, I hear what you're saying. It's Malcolm X in prison. In the Stan Lee, man, Spike Lee movie, where like he's like reading books and all this stuff. Yeah. But again, your vices are strong. Your mother, you go back home to a mother that hates you, and you fall back into old routines. There's nothing you can really do. He's trapped and always will be. And funny enough, there's actually something that we're going to get into a little bit later, because I think there's something interesting that happens here. Anyway, Trey and Ricky see Doughboy, they all hang out, they all joke together, and they're talking. And it feels fun, it feels natural. When one of the boys in red from before show up and they slam Ricky in the shoulder. And then of course, things kind of go crazy as
and this is where red flag won. Ricky, no one else said anything. No one else said anything. Marawena, you want to turn around and be like, what's your problem? I'm not
you let it slide.
I'm not chancing it.
I think having a conversation with you guys makes me see things that I've never even saw. Are those guys bloods?
They probably
You would think so, right?
Yeah. What's with the red?
But the point being,
everything of theirs was red. Like even the car that drove was red, wasn't it?
Yes, we mentioned this earlier actually when you were in the bathroom about we think maybe it's like a color theme. Where like you see some people wearing green. Well, there's a green car and a red car. The green car is helpful. The red car, of course, points a gun at Trey's face. It's this whole thing where it's like we wonder how the depth of this is. It like a color verse theme, or are they being more specific? Maybe it is just bloods, but I think it's theme.
I think it's theme because again, like we said with the recruiter, this is just something I noticed. Like in the house, the colors are really bright and almost saturated. Like to give sort of an energy, and then when you see the outside, it's really dark and everybody's kind of cast in shadow. So I don't think it was unintentional. I think
it was a moment of hope in the house.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if we touched this about the house. Sorry to take us back there, but Did you guys see the recruiter's face when Ricky said that he has a child?
Oh
yes.
yeah, I forgot about that. I actually meant
Which is again, that's why I say it's a reverse of the teacher. Because remember, the teacher was assuming that there was only one parent, whereas this person is assuming that this guy wouldn't have a kid already. It's like the reverse of the assumptions.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
And I just thought that was his hopes for Ricky drop immediately when he hears that Ricky has a kid.
That was
definitely
crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, getting back to it,
yes.
So this guy bumps Ricky. Ricky turns around and says, "What's your problem?" And the thing that I'm seeing is Ricky has no situational awareness. Because, Ricky, you're right. But this is not about rights.
Not the time and place.
This is about survival. Because remember, Doughboy doesn't move. Neither does Trey. Everybody is still, and Ricky is the one pushing the interaction. It's just like, hey, man. And like they say, some people are looking to start some shit. So if there's a person like that, they just want to start something. You don't give them anything because you've got something to lose. They don't.
Well, but even the rest, the rest of the crew, if you really thought about it, I'm talking about the guys, not the main characters. I'm talking about the other guys. You can see they didn't even want to start anything apart from that guy. Everybody else didn't really want to start anything. That's why the girl was like, "Guys, can't we just chill and not have any issues?"
Which is actually an interesting point.
Yeah.
Because they actually talk about that in dialogue, as I mentioned before. They talk about how that one guy is older than all of the others, and he's like an old guy hanging out with young people, being cool. And they talk about that, and they talk about how these guys are always a problem. So yes, I actually think that supports Buck's argument that Ricky is being retarded. That the other people would have just let that shit slide, would have just ignored it on purpose, because these guys are always trying to start something, and it always involves a gun. Which is probably why when they start picking a fight with him, with Ricky, Dober goes from completely chilled to immediately a gun in his hand. Not even like, let's start with fists and then escalate to guns. No, straight to guns. Because they say that these boys are always guns first. They're always trying to show off with guns. They say that in the dialogue.
But that's also,
not even
this
just
is
that.
also
Remember,
Don't Be a Menace exaggerated this moment. That do we have a problem? Do you have a problem?
Yes.
Because the way Marlon took it far, dog. Like he opened his truck and there was like a bazooka, dog. It's like, do we?
Yeah.
I must actually watch. Don't Be a Menace. I'll put that on the list
for the first time.
I haven't seen Don't Be a Menace. Anyway.
But I feel like you need to watch Menace to Society as well. Yeah, that's where the jokes will land. Yeah.
Okay. But what I'm trying to say is that in this situation, Doughboy immediately flashes back to the ball because it's the same situation again, and he's like, "Not this time."
Yeah.
That is a good point, definitely.
Which is why he's not even trying to negotiate. He's not even like, leave my brother alone. He's just like, do we have a problem?
No, I understand that. That's a viable argument, definitely. But yeah, I was gonna say there's actually something interesting here. Because I also think there's also when the woman mentioned before says, let's not fight, blah blah blah. There's a magic word that Doughboy uses that he's been told not to use the whole time.
Dude.
It's been set up over and over again. And then he calls her a bitch, and her face changes immediately. Shit changes immediately.
Yeah.
And he's not even arguing with her, but at the same time, it's like, you still called me a bitch.
But you're talking to strangers who don't know that that's how you normally speak. So
yeah. That they don't understand that. And to me, do you know what this gave me? It gave me very strong City of God vibes, because there's a moment in City of God, right, where they say, we'll give you, where the main character, the main villain, I don't know what you want to call him, talks to a witch doctor, and the witch doctor says, I will give you unlimited power as long as you don't touch women. Yeah. And then he ends up knock around Ned's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And all the things fall apart for him after that.
It's like, to me, I feel like with this thing off. If you remember that, don't take this thing off.
Yeah.
And
yes. Yeah. So I feel like that's kind of what was happening here, where it's like, You just had to, though. You just had to mess with this
To
woman
me,
by
it
using
reminds
that
me
wrong
of
word.
it reminds me of Troy, where Hector kept on protecting Orlando
yeah.
Bloom's character, right, as the older brother. Now Hector is fighting battles that he didn't start now.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Not fully, but anyway, yeah. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, so anyway, this turns things around, but the question is that the catalyst? Anyway, they all part way, they all hang out for a moment. They're like, oh, okay, I guess everything's okay, followed by and then yeah, machine gun fire, and all of them get into their cars and they run. They all run for their lives. Yeah, so but yeah. So the machine gun breaks the party up.
Bro, how do you guys have access to an Uzi? What the hell?
Dude, it is America, but even then, that's still crazy.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
an
it's the
Uzi is
Second
wild.
Amendment, dude.
Yeah, Mara, an
Nah,
Uzi is
guns are
like
illegal. Machine guns are illegal.
yeah,
Or
I was like,
machine guns are illegal.
yeah, the automated weapons are like I'm like a handgun or a pistol
Yeah.
or something. I understand,
But I think it
Uzi.
also goes back to what Führer said earlier, that these things, they don't make these things,
Yes, they get imported. Yeah.
ships and airplanes.
Someone comes and then fills the neighborhood with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
When he was doing the Professor X Kufi Professor X with
My brother. Yeah.
My brother. You must use your brain, my brother.
Must use your brains, my brother.
Yo, dude, I thought it was gonna cause a fight when he said that. I was like, excuse me? I thought, oh, okay, we're about to get shot here. But anyway, cool. Yeah, so when things have been so peaceful, the joyous situation changes. Trey is absolutely pissed. He wants to leave. He's done. He's like, fuck this neighborhood.
Pissed off, man.
Like to the point where I was even confused, but he's just like, nah, fuck everything and everyone here. I want to go home.
I want to go back to
and
LA.
then it changes into a horror movie. Huh? Sorry?
No, he was like, I want to go back to LA. Screw this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says he want to get out of LA. He wants to go like
yes.
This is where he.
Oh, I want to get out of LA.
Yeah, and this is where I'm like, I'm calling my mom, dad.
Yes,
like,
I'm getting on a bus and I'm saying the bus is almost there.
Yeah, because what? And then they get stopped by the police.
Yeah,
and of
course, not just any police.
And of course, no, just in general, to get stopped by the police in the middle of the night, just in general is not a good sign. Now in America, especially, there's a lot of instances where it's not a great sign either. They get pulled over, and this white cop is just doing standard checks. Hasn't said anything. He's just searching Ricky normally. What? This black cop, I don't know. Are you an undercover agent of the KKK? Like, do we need to?
He's a member of the CIA, bro.
Like, do we need to rub your
CIA,
skin,
bro?
Like, do we need to rub your skin and then we'll find there's a white man underneath? Like, is it a Scooby Doo thing where it's like I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids and they take off the mask and underneath there is the dude from.
It would be a demon, bro. They'd be scales, bro. That shit was crazy.
Yeah. Because he just loses it. He goes left.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the white cop in the scene, he's almost like, dog, this isn't in the handbook. What are you doing?
Yes. The white cop is shook. Again, I talk about this in my TikTok. But yeah, the white cop is absolutely flabbergasted, bro. He's like, he
looked like he wanted to ask Ricky, he's like, is this how this normally goes?
No.
Is this how you people are? I don't know.
When did the Rodney King thing happen? Which year was that? It was like the
it was before this. Before this.
Okay. Yeah. Because the reason I'm asking is I had a feeling that might have also inspired a lot of the police brutality themes in this movie. Especially that moment. I don't know if he was assaulted by white cops or black, but you get what I'm saying?
It was white cops.
No, it was white cops. That's why it was also such a big deal, and they had to pay him so much money because racially.
Yes, it was the other Bush. It wasn't Reagan. It was the other. No, wait.
No, yeah, it was Bush Senior. It was Bush Senior.
It was Bush Senior, I think.
Yeah, Bush Senior.
But this is 91.
Yeah,
Was it later than I think?
Boys in the Hood came out in what, 92 or 90? 92, no?
No, 91 as well.
Oh.
Well, you don't need a
That was
specific era. I
1992.
don't think you need a specific era to point to
Yeah, I don't think it's tied to Rodney King. I don't think it is.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think
It's probably maybe
I'm
tied
just saying,
to
in
the Black
general, a
Panthers,
lot of.
maybe.
I'm just saying, in general, there was a lot of police brutality anyway.
Yeah,
It's just Rodney
yeah.
King got famous. But yeah, just
Yes.
coming back to this scene, like this guy completely goes off script. Like first off, he's like, "Are you carrying any drugs or anything?" And he's like, "I'm sick of
Oh,
these
yeah.
niggas." And I'm like, "You don't even know who you arrested." Like,
Yep.
That's because it's a nigga at night. It's a
you
problem.
haven't found any. I'm saying you haven't found any contraband. You haven't found any drugs. You haven't found anything.
You're not even looking.
Like
Dog,
dog.
do you know what it reminds me of? Remember that Keanu Reeves one? Have you guys seen that one? Where like
Street
Keanu
Kings.
Reeves is like coming in a car, Street Kings, yeah. And he's like, you drive this, you look this, your eyebrows look like this. And everyone, if you see the TikTok, it's like the comment section was, yo, Keanu, the line was was like, hello.
Yeah, people like doing that. People like doing shit like that, yeah.
So I'm
I'm
just
telling you,
like,
that's what
this
this
guy
was.
just goes completely off script. He starts acting more gangster than actual gangsters. Like he pulled out
yeah.
the gun and pointed at Trey's neck, and I was like, "You are really gonna shoot this kid in the street over a police check?" And you're
Hey,
the
dog,
black dude?
it's that light-skinned fury, man. The light, they get mad at you
It's
for
that
that.
it's that Gotham Police Department thing where even the cops are
Oh
like,
yeah.
Because
just
I was like,
you.
"Yo, if he shot that kid, Furious's villain arc would start right then and there."
All right, cool. So yeah,
would be the name of a super villain. So yeah, hey, that guy
definitely,
was wild.
man.
It is iconic though.
Yeah, oh no, very iconic. Anyway, so the worst policeman in the world gets called away. I love how they can never say no to the radio and say like, "Yo, we're busy here." They was like, "Oh, the radio is calling. I've got to go. I'll stop committing crimes."
They were looking for a blue car. I think that's what the scene is, and this guy, in his wisdom as a cop, just saw a blue car and lost it. And then when he found out that he was wrong, he was just like,
"Yeah,
shit, I think I fucked up. Whoops."
Yeah.
And like,
but anyway, yeah.
And then he tries to apologize, and it's just like, it's late. You put a gun to my neck
for no reason.
Dog, that's so funny. But anyway, yeah, the dialogue is so completely on point. It's very on the nose. It's almost one for one with the Bernie Mac one, but I love it.
Yeah, it's just that the Bernie Mac one is hilarious, man. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
One-on-one, yeah.
Exactly.
Sean played it very well.
True. I would go as far as say that Boys in the Hood is a bit of an imperfect middle ground that I fucking love its style. Anyway, one could question whether or not this movie holds up, but I think it really does.
As a person who watched it today, this is my first viewing, and yeah, it totally holds up.
Okay, nice, bro.
I've never seen this movie before.
The way I'm blown away right now, you're giving me Kutso vibes, bro. Like Kutso says these kinds of things. Kutso says these kinds of things. I'm shook right now. You know what's funny is that you guys are like those YouTube channels where they're like, we have never heard Evanescence bring me to life.
I get you.
The first time, like, fuck you, you liar. You're lying. You're lying.
I get you. It's like, where have you been? What do you mean?
I know the memes. But that's about it.
Anyway, we cut to Trey's girl, and we see that giant helicopter light as we bounce from them to the girl until eventually he comes in, and geez, that prison light is so bright when he walks through the door. I'm like, okay, but this is where the extremity of his emotions kind of hit their peak. And Trey just kind of explodes and breaks down. He's done with all of it. This is famously known as the dark heart of the soul. This is the moment where like he talks and where like he really talks about his feelings. And
you can see that Nia Long actually wanted to laugh there. This is like if you see where he starts punching the air and they show her sitting down by the couch and looking at him. Dog, she is trying her best not to laugh, which is so realistic.
I did not notice that, dog.
Because sometimes what happens with partners is they can't relate to your mood at the moment. sometimes they don't take your mood as seriously as you do. And sometimes it could piss you off even more. You know?
But I think also she didn't have any context for what was going on.
Yeah.
Until and then I think what happens is that as she listens to him, then it settles in.
And he started crying. Yeah.
Oh,
and
definitely.
It settles in for her. And then I'm saying it settles in for her because you also see the terror in her face. Like Nia Long, everybody acted well in this movie. But I'm saying you get to see the terror in her face where she's like, oh my God, like you almost died tonight. I don't know from what, but something could have killed you tonight.
Yeah.
That's why you're doing this.
But remember, it works.
Kill the motherfucker, when he's saying kill the motherfuckers, like maybe she's heard this speech like 50 times because Trey is one of those dudes where he's in the hood, but he's not a gangster.
Yeah.
She's like, stop pretending to be something you're not. And then it hits her that, oh shit.
Yeah.
100%. But anyway, they break down, they like hold each other in the moment, and Trey's like, whoa, I've never thought I'd be crying in front of a woman. And you wonder if this is the moment where the relationship kind of evolves into something more real instead of him just being horny. As he's opened up for the first time in front of his girl. It reminded me of very much of The Great Debaters. There's a scene there.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you guys have watched that movie.
Yeah.
Have you?
No,
don't break my heart. Okay, cool.
That's one of the movies that Denzel.
I knew it. I was looking at Buck. I was like, all right, we need to get you on this. We need to get you on the black movie list. We need to get this done. But anyway,
I've seen Hurricane. Does that count?
Okay, it does count, but we need more. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I see the moment you're talking about just before the climax, right?
Yes. This is called the dark heart of the soul, where everyone kind of bears their emotions. It's the part where in Toy Story we discussed it, shameless plug, where Buzz Lightyear realizes that he is actually a toy, where he tries to jump and then he falls on the ground and he loses his arm. Then he realizes, oh, I'm actually a toy. So it's that kind of moment. Anyway, they talk about marriage because Trey is still Trey. So he's still horny. And even though he's getting his way, he still wants to try and make it right for her. Anyway, they have sex, and meaning that he has kind of achieved his climax. You know what I mean? Like this has been what he's been wanting for like half of the second act.
Yeah.
So I like how she's like, I don't want to get pregnant, and he's like, you won't, and I'm like, that's the first sign that I
was like, what a crock of shit.
Grandfather Furious is loading. I'm like,
no, but usually when a woman says a line like that, you're in, dog. You know
what I mean?
No, but you're in, but like also you're supposed to be responsible, and Trey is just
because there's no guarantee. What makes you so sure that she won't fall pregnant? But there's a line that you didn't mention there where she said, "You can always cry to me" or something like that. Assurance. That was everything.
That's what got him in. That's what got him into that final base. Then hit the home run.
Yeah.
Almost had to die.
It was all about having to cry first. But anyway, 77 minutes in. And I think one could argue that what we just saw now was the end of the second act. Because I would say the beginning of the second act was him trying to be all horny with this girl. And now he finally gets to smash. And now that's the end of the second act. That's all he's been trying to do. I think that's what you could say. And now whatever happens now is the third act. One could definitely argue that. I'm sure someone will disagree. Please, in the comments. Anyway, here now, 77 minutes in, is another scene I completely forgot about. I forgot the scene was here. And it's where Mr. Furious and Mrs. Riva finally meet up at a fancy restaurant. And we get to see the two parents talking to each other, discussing Trey's future. Mr. Furious lays out the groundwork of Trey needing his freedom. And then Riva has just had enough of him talking this shit. Because it's the same conversation he had in the phone call. And she lays down the law and says, and sets out a counter narrative that yes, it is good for a father and a son to be together, but let's not forget that mothers have been doing this job forever.
For decades.
I mean, you're not the chosen one.
Yeah,
exactly. Let's not. I feel like in a story about men.
No, well, I was just gonna say this is if you frame it differently as well. Furious believes that people can fix themselves. Riva's like, yeah, there's no chance. Like it's just like you don't like there's too much going on for you to think that this guy can just make his own decisions. Allah, the hood is for naught. You shouldn't be there.
Yes.
And
Oh no, definitely.
Furious is like, no, old enough to make decisions.
A little bit louder.
In other words, this environment
can just to your mouth.
Start making decisions. Oh, sorry. Damn it. Yo. Anyway,
yeah, I didn't hear any of that.
I'm saying Riva saying that Trey can't make decisions. You're supposed to guide his decisions. He's just like, you need to be hovering over this boy because where he is, that environment is for naught. Furious still has hope and believes that Trey within that environment can make decisions for himself that will lead to him becoming a better person. Allah, we can save the hood, we can't save the hood. And it's even indicated by the way they dress. That's why even what's this? And also, it's not that Furious is unintelligent to what she's saying. It's just that Furious is so militant in the belief that his place can be saved. Because remember, he also orders coffee in French.
Yeah.
So it's just like, no, you're not better than me intelligence-wise. It's just that I believe in where I stay. And Riva's like,
he's very Vegeta. He would probably still call Goku Kakarot. If you know what I mean.
But yo, I don't want to lie. She was very bossy, hey? I think I saw why he left as well. Like one of the reasons he probably left.
No, I don't think bossy is the word. I think them two, they don't like. Again, it's that thing of when you don't know how to say sorry, or you don't know how to say I'm gonna listen to you. Like there's people like that where if you just learned to speak, this would not be a problem. But because you are so set in who you are, you don't want to shift or change.
That line, the sit your ass down line, where he said he was gonna get some cigarettes.
Before I make a fool. But I'm saying also him, where he's just like he's not a boy anymore. He's a grown ass man, and you missed it. It's just like you did not need to say that. But the reason you wanted to say that is it's like the reason you wanted to say that was because in your head you were thinking that this was supposed to be a nuclear family. Because again, Furious, very pro-black, what. And Riva is like, I'm not gonna sit in my place just because I'm a woman. It's like you guys could find middle ground if you just learn how to talk, but you can't talk, you just argue.
Yeah. I would say it's more. I would say you're mostly right, but I would say it's not just. I think it's also it's supposed to be like a balance. Like he's got this freedom, but then you also need your mother to want you to stay. Do you know what I mean? Like it's fine that Trey breaks away, but you can't just shoot him into the air like a cannon. So he's wrong with that, and she's right with you. Need your mother there to want you to stay, to want you to want to keep you safe, so you can pull away. So it's a combination of things that hold together, and that's why them both being there is so valuable. But also another thing this scene does, not beyond this basic conversation, is it also sets up that hey, something's about to happen to Trey, and he's gonna have to make a decision. And we're all about to watch what decision he makes. I think that's what happens in the scene.
Yeah.
Because now we get set up for what.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Again, there's so much weightlifting in these scenes, bro. It's crazy. And remember, this thing has a 6.5 in IMDb, bro. That's some bullshit.
What?
Weird. What the fuck?
What?
Right? It's got a 6.5. This and Poetic Justice are like some lowly.
That makes no sense.
That's weird. But I do remember.
Very weird.
I think when it filmed at a French festival, I don't know if it was Sundance or what, but it was a big deal. Like there was an instant hit, bro. Hence the box office as well.
This is easily like objectively speaking. If I have to put my objective film critic hat on, this is easily a 9.
Yeah.
I don't. Like,
I would say 8.5, but a 9 works as well.
I'm saying maybe it's just the subject matter that stops me from it being a 10 because, like, I guess at that point it's
dude. I hear what you're saying, but fuck, I'm gonna get into it later. But
I'm talking about a personal thing because I'm like, objectively speaking, this is No, maybe it's not a perfect film. I think maybe there's parts of the montage that were not necessary, and some stuff that could have been taken out. And then also we
Yeah.
discussed the SAT scene, so maybe that's what could knock it down. But I think because the thematic messaging, the dialogue, and just the flow of events is so tight, that I would give this, yeah, maybe what Rob says, 8.5. Yeah, 8.5 to 9, somewhere there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, I think that I'm going to get into it later, but I think there's elements in this movie that definitely costed points. But I think if you're a filmmaker, again, you guys don't know sports metaphors. So I'm trying to think of like, okay, I'm trying to not think of a sports metaphor. But if you think about the technical aspects of it, I could almost understand what the problem is, but I also think that's nonsense. But we'll get into that later. Anyway, let us do the final sequence, the final set piece. So Trey meets up with Doughboy. We see that car in red is there. We see that the beef is still there. The car setup and coming back is done so nicely. The setup and mention of the military comes up. If you guys remember in the earlier scene, and Rick and Trey even mentioned.
I was just like, yo, was there Muti in that advert? Because I feel like what happens is that after Trey watches that advert, all of his black survival instincts go out the window. It was like a hypnotism or something. I was just like, you talk like the white man one time, and all of a sudden, every survival instinct you've ever had,
was flipping hilarious. But yeah, we set up and mentioned Ricky's blown away by the military recruitment. He's just like, and yeah, we've seen this set up before. He's told.
Part of me believes that the reason he was blown away is he knew that he was not gonna come right with that GPA.
Oh yeah.
With
he probably thought he was gonna fail the test.
SATs. You could tell he was struggling.
Oh yeah.
When they were doing their SATs.
Yeah, he was trying to look for like some surefire way, because like the recruiter told him, there's no guarantee you're going to the NFL.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's a meme in the SATs that says you get like 400 points if you spell your name right. And this man got 710. So what does that tell you? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, so I could understand his low confidence with the situation. But anyway, oh yeah, so he has to go get the corn milk. And Ricky, just being entitled, is like, you know what, big brother, you go get the milk. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's what Doughboy was like, women.
Yeah, but then,
who are you talking to right now?
The thing is, you're just like, oh, okay, maybe they're just messing with each other, because then Doughboy like kind of walks that off.
Yeah.
And then Ricky says like, hey man, fuck you. And then Doughboy like sees red. Like
Dog!
It activated him like the Winter Soldier, like Ichini Spetsnaz.
Some secret codes.
Hey, with that the Winter Soldier, all of a sudden it's a fight. And
yeah, smacks him off the porch.
So and like Doughboy's friends understand. Trey is confused. I thought we were joking. What's going on?
Bruh, Chris is like, let them fight, dog.
Yeah.
Leave them alone.
What's that Watanabe from Godzilla?
Yeah, from Godzilla. Just out of nowhere.
Godzilla and King Kong have met each other in the middle of the city. Let them fight. What?
Yeah, but that's my car. That's my Polo. I just paid it off. Let them fight. No, you understand.
It's like 60,000 people in the middle of the city. You're the doctor that's supposed to know how to control Godzilla. What do you mean? Let them fight. What?
Get this nigga out of this control room right now. That's the realistic version.
WWE, you're not supposed to be selling tickets. Watanabe, help!
That's hilarious.
That's cutting a promo. But anyway, let's not get this.
Oh, Heyman over here. What the hell?
Anyway. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, they're pissed off with each other, and we see things are so different between them.
Yeah,
that
and
they're kind of in a
again,
bad atmosphere.
the mom saves Ricky
Yeah, but
and
Yes.
Doughboy,
she
and
slaps Doughboy though.
yeah, and Doughboy is just
Dog,
like,
like,
"What are
why'd you
you
hit me
hitting me
for?
for?"
Dog. And then the friends who are retarded are like, why are they hitting you? And it's like, shut up,
It's
bro.
Chris. Chris is a you know that loyal friend
Yeah.
who got to a point where even Doughboy has to like now make him
Mm.
calm down because
Time to chill, yeah.
it's like it's
Wait,
between
which one
him
is the
and his
religious
mom
one?
now. Like I can't say anything bad about my mom, so chill.
Which is the religious one again? Is that the wheelchair one? Is that Chris?
That's
No,
Chris.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
Chris. It's wheelchair. Yeah,
Oh,
wheelchair
okay.
bro is religious.
Which
And you
is
know
the
what's
religious
so
one,
weird?
yeah.
All along, I thought Dookie was Chris. It's only today that I realized, oh, flip. You know why I'm saying that? If you remember
Mm.
when Chris was young, he had curly hair.
Yeah.
Yes,
So when
yes.
you see Dookie with the curly hair, you just assume that it's,
Exactly. You're like, oh, okay, it's got to
oh,
be the
that's
same
Chris.
thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
So you got that anime mindset because in anime they'll keep the same clothes, the same hair, and they're like, oh, he's 20 years older now. And it's like, wow.
But also with Ricky
Yeah.
because of the hair, because Ricky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
fully
So
understand,
anyway,
bro.
yeah. So then
Yeah,
they
anyway.
managed to get to the. They managed to actually get this milk or whatever, and
Wait,
then
no, wait, no. Before then.
oh
Before then.
oh okay, sorry.
Well, before he's leaving, the mailman shows up and is like, by some strange coincidence, here's your mail in your hand. This might be important. Wink,
Oh
wink.
yeah.
And yeah, okay, then all that stuff is happening in the exact same moment. All of it is happening. It's very Karate Kid. Anyway, like you said, they talk for a moment, then they buy the milk, like you said, and then
Oh
they
well.
notice the
Anyway, sorry. We
car.
need to cover the conversation because you're right. That was important.
Oh,
Where
shit.
basically Trey is just like, have you lost your mind?
Yes, because he's
The
like, I want to go to the
army?
military.
But you see, guys, this is why I'm saying talking to you guys makes me see shit I didn't see before. You guys realize that Rick is always drinking milk, right?
Who?
Yes,
Ricky.
Ricky. He doesn't
Oh
drink
yeah.
alcohol, he drinks milk. Yeah.
It's that baby connotation.
Ah, I think that's viable. Definitely.
It's that metaphor again. Yeah. It just hit me
Mm.
now when you guys were talking about it.
Hey, that's an argument. I'm
Like,
not
no
even
one
gonna
else
fight you
drinks
on that
milk in
one.
the movie except for that Nick.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
religiously. But yeah.
Yeah, he's also
So
always
yeah, they have a
eating.
conversation. They talk about going to the
He's
military.
also always eating stuff, and
Yes.
Yeah, he's always eating and
I,
drinking milk.
yeah, and I
And
think
just so
also
happy with life.
yeah, and I think also he never like does Ricky like dress himself? I mean,
Probably
I'm sure he
not.
puts on
Like,
his own
I think
clothes,
his
but like
girlfriend dresses that
but
nigga.
no.
I think he doesn't like. Yeah, I think he doesn't. Yeah.
Do you
Anyway,
even yeah. But anyway, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, they have
Yeah,
that
You know, I've
conversation,
Ricky, I'm
never
and
over
looked
it.
at
That's his
Ricky
thing.
the way you guys have explained him today, ever, until today. I
Yeah,
always
because
thought
Ricky is
Ricky was
ridiculous.
the most perfect character in this entire thing. My entire
Yeah,
life.
he's yeah, right. I know
no,
exactly what you mean.
that's why when the guy bumps into him, Ricky's not used to people treating him that way, so he loses it and flips out
Yeah,
Yeah.
and tries
but
to bust his chest.
but
What
at the
the?
same time, there's also an understanding that he is. Remember, he's also scared to go to Crenshaw. No, sorry, Compton.
Hmm.
So there is an understanding of danger. So he's not completely insane. So
Yeah,
he
Yeah.
but
does
what I'm
have
trying to say is
some.
that I think the thing is that on home turf, he feels
Yeah.
extra comfortable.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
when his
why he
brother's there.
reacted. Yeah. When his brother is there and his friends are there, and he's on home turf, he feels like the people
Yeah.
around me are gonna protect me like a shield anyway. And of course, Doughboy
Oh
is
yeah.
sent,
In
and
fact,
it's
I would
just
even
like,
argue without his friends. If Doughboy's friends were there, but Doughboy wasn't, I bet you he'd still be nervous. I bet you Ricky when his friend when Doughboy is there feels bulletproof.
yeah,
It's
but
Prison Break all over again. If you remember in Prison Break, people didn't touch Michael because of Lincoln, right?
Mm.
Or like your Link like Sink's little brother? Yo, guys, leave the fish alone. But before they knew who his brother was, bro, he was target
Mm.
number one.
Oh yeah. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
but anyway,
yeah. Anyway, yeah. So but anyway, yeah,
I
and
just think
then
that's interesting. Yeah.
yeah, but then yeah, they go and what's this? They
Yeah.
get the milk. Ricky
They
is
get the
trying to scratch
milk.
to win the lottery because like yeah, he's basically like, yeah, these guys told me all of these statistics. I need a miracle. Like you already making me doubt the army. It's like, yo, let me get some lottery numbers or whatever. And then they see a red car. And you're just like, guys, over a shoulder bump. Like, yo.
Yeah.
It's not just the shoulder bump, it's also the fact that they called that chick a bitch.
But I'm like,
potentially, but it's
dead?
ego, yeah. And also, they all know each other. That's so crazy. They all know each other. Like, I think in my earlier viewings, I never realized how well they all knew each other. Where Ricky's like, ah, no, it's those guys. It's fine afterwards. But yeah, they look at each other. Once that engine starts, they realize, oh, this is real, and they run into the houses.
Like, and this is where Ricky really pissed me off, because again, like, what's this? As Trey is like, cut into these fences over here specifically, we're gonna go this way, right? Then they get down and they manage to get away. Then Ricky's like, "Oh shit, I gotta take a piss," and I'm like, "Now,
Ricky."
Do you know what it is? Have you guys played Metal Gear Solid or
yeah?
You guys ever played that game?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
There's a part where if you get like hit, if you get caught, the warning goes and it counts down, and you gotta, like, if you hide for like a minute, then you're safe. I think Ricky was playing Metal Gear Solid, and he thought if he hid for 1 minute, he's safe now. That's the only way what we saw
the
made
warning
sense.
level would have gone down. Because this is the thing. It's just like you're running for your life.
Yes.
Like, this is what I didn't understand with Ricky. I was like, that guy took out an Uzi last night because you bumped shoulders. You can't tell me that you see his car now and you think, they just showing off and showing out. Really?
Despite that, this nigga is still busy scratching that card from the milk carton. I'm like, dude, this is not the time.
Oh yeah.
Like, how did you not even think your life was forfeit? Not even once. Like,
man was like, it'll be fine.
And then he's like, yo, let's split up. That is the most white shit. Why?
Yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah,
that is white women in horror movies when the killer is killing everybody one by one, and then they're like, let's split up for clues. No.
That's Fred from Scooby-Doo when he wants to smash Daphne.
Yeah.
Anyway, it just, the Ricky and whatever the hell it baffled me, because the thing that pisses me off, man, is, first off, like Extraordin said, he's not paying attention to his environment. The way I would be so scared until I get home, and I'd be hiding under my bed until tomorrow, like you wouldn't see me. And then after that, like, he's not paying attention. And it's like, if he went with Trey, he would have lived. Because Trey's like, let's not split up. And it's like, Trey was so far away from those guys that had Ricky gone with Ricky would be alive. And it's just like, Ricky, you did this to yourself. Why?
You're missing a part. Well, okay, before that, the car tries to cut them off and goes back around Doughboy's house.
Oh, yeah.
And Doughboy, again, being very clever, puts one and one together and realizes why these guys energized. Oh shit.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
He realizes, oh shit. So he's like, everyone suit up, let's go. They get into the car, they take off after them, and that's when Ricky becomes Ricky and just becomes absolutely retarded. And then he needs to piss. They split up, all the things you said, and then the car shows up at the driveway, and then 2 shots with a shotgun.
But you know what? If I was Ricky, I'd just be looking at the guy like, I didn't bump your shoulder. Why, dog? We have no beef. This is my first time.
But that's kind of something similar to the Karate Kid, like the top student. Okay, not the top student. The second best student is the one that cripples Daniel. Well, not really cripples him, but breaks his leg.
Yeah.
That's not what the main villain did. The main villain was just told to sweep the leg, but to break the guy's leg, that was someone else. So yeah, I don't know why movies do that, but it's a
No,
thing.
I was just saying, yo, I would haunt you forever. We didn't even have any problems.
Yeah.
Why are you
I
shooting
was
me?
minding my business, living my best life.
Fun fact, that guy actually turned into an actual killer in real life. It was very, very strange.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the guy who shoots Ricky, apparently he
The
really
light-skinned
liked
one.
yeah, apparently he really liked playing a gangster so much that he did it in real life. I think he shot two people and then got shot himself or something.
You
Hot
see, I
damn,
told
man.
everyone to take
And I was
these
like,
things
you had
seriously.
you had 2 seconds of screen time. You were only there to shoot Ricky. How did you fall in life? How did you fall in love with the life that quickly?
Hey, dog, you
Yeah,
never know. It's like that guy from James Bond, the one that went to jail, the Asian guy with the hat. But yeah. But yeah. Yeah, so he
Yeah,
gets
and
shot,
then
one in the leg, one in the spine. But that bullet spreads, whereas the first one didn't. And yeah, he's been
but yeah,
shot.
his sports career was over. Like even if
Oh
he
yeah.
managed to survive this, which he wouldn't have, but if he managed to survive this, NFL is gone. Sorry,
Oh
Lama.
yeah. And the car
yeah.
takes over, and Doughboy catches up, finds them, and he doesn't even try. He just knows it's over. And he's just like, yo, man, like shit. Like, and then I thought it was beautiful seeing all the guys break down like that, where you see like, oh, by the way, fun fact, wheel guy catching up almost immediately to a car that was moving at full speed is crazy. But he does catch up. Him being
Hey,
there is
dog.
crazy.
Chris should be in the Paralympics. He'd kill.
Yeah, he was just like he caught up to the car and he was there a minute later. You
Oh,
see,
man,
look in the background, you
he
guys.
was spinning. He was spinning with his wheelchair. Like, dog, go be a athlete. Go be an athlete in the Paralympics, dog. You getting
Exactly,
gold
that's your
medals
way
left and
out,
right.
guys. Turns out Chris is your way out. But anyway, but yeah, you see them all break down, and then eventually they all get put it together enough to get this man back in the car and take
Oh,
him
and you
home.
can also see that the Doughboy he's used to it. Like,
Yeah.
it's so
Oh
scary
yeah,
how he's just following procedure, and
yeah,
Trey is destroyed. But
oh yeah,
Doughboy needs to be there in order to get like things moving. He's like, we can't
oh
sit
yeah,
here, we can't stay here, we can't.
yeah. He's always been the man of the house, and you really get to see that now. As he pulls everyone together, gets him in the car, takes him home. Which, by the way, don't do that, police. I mean, because you got to investigate the body and all that stuff. But anyway, um, so they take him home and
With
they
that
bring him
one
into the
police
house.
officer that's I don't know, signed
Okay,
to
maybe
bus.
that police officer won't investigate, but I'm
Yeah, signed to
saying
bus
don't move,
central.
don't move a body
Don't
like
tamper
that.
with evidence.
With evidence, thank you. So they take him home, and then the woman of the house, they react rather badly. They, of course, absolutely lose their minds in just two great performances. I do not know the other lady, but
The girlfriend is fucked. You see, Ovana, at least Doughboy and the mom, I get it, they can get by. But the
yeah.
baby mom, she's because I don't even think she had a job.
Oh, yeah, nah.
She's fucked. You
Oh,
gotta kick
yeah.
her out.
And keep the kids somehow.
I
That's what I
think I
hope.
think I think the kid will buy her time, especially with the
Oh,
mom,
yeah.
especially with the way the movie ends. Because
Yes.
yeah, but we'll
Yeah.
get to it. But like
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like Doughboy's even trying to say, "Give me the baby." He's like,
Yes, that's what I was trying to get at. Yeah.
This baby's earliest memory cannot be his dad bleeding out on on the chair. Like, he doesn't need to be seeing this. And I thought
Oh,
that was
definitely.
insane. The mom
Yeah.
also, in poor parenting fashion, turns on Doughboy, and you're just like, "Yo, lady, like, he
But that
also
was
lost his
expected.
brother."
That one, was
Yeah.
No,
expected.
but I'm just
It
saying.
was,
Also, at the same time, it's just like you it's in a toxic environment. Like, you're a very poor parent because your son also needs you to be there for him as well. She could have talked Doughboy out of going to do a drive-by and save himself from all the trouble and danger that he like. She could have done what Furious did. we'll get to it. But basically, I'm just saying she basically put Doughboy on the path to self-destruction because any hope Doughboy had of being a regular society person, it ended there when she started blaming
no, that's
him.
true. That's true. I think, I don't know, man. Some parents, Doughboy wouldn't have ever been good enough no matter what he did.
Yeah, but
in that moment,
in that moment, I'm saying Doughboy thought his only option left was to get the guys that got his brother, and it's just like that's what you did, Jay.
Yeah. It's that first one thing I was telling you guys about. If you don't solve the problem, your parent is gonna fuck you up, or it's gonna make you feel like shit. Now you still need to solve the problem somehow.
Anyway, sorry, Rob, you were saying?
I was saying in that moment, Doughboy, again, being the rock of the family, he was absolutely good enough. You notice that they didn't go after anyone until much later. In fact, Doughboy was trying to keep things together until they kicked him out of the house. So I thought to myself, that is genuinely fantastic. Doughboy was definitely the man of the house, and I think it's a shame that things could not have turned out better. I think, but that's how the world works. That's just how fate is, man. There's no such thing as waiting for you, man. You just
No, again, personal responsibility. People make decisions, but parents, you have to understand the power you have over your children. And I don't think that mom did.
Yeah. But anyway, Trey is the first person to like lose his shit. And he rushes out of the house to go fetch the gun, as seen in the shoebox in the first act. Mr. Furious thankfully shows up in that time. And catches him going out for revenge.
Like his father's senses went off. My son's about to make a dumb decision.
There's a disturbance in the force.
Dog, man was there right quick in a hurry, bro. And then you kind of have this moment where like you get to feel like, oh my gosh, maybe the bond between father and son is so strong that it can contain even this. And it's this beautiful moment where like he really gets him to stop. He gets to his son and he gets him to stop. And then the girlfriend shows up. But as they're like, oh, thank God, please go look after him in this moment. And Furious is like, oh, thank God. And he's like crying because he's like, so close. And then, nope, too late. Man jumped out of a window and he's gone.
Yeah, no, that scene was crazy because it's like you could see that Trey loves his father, but he's like, but they shot Ricky. And like, I think Furious says the wrong thing in that moment.
Yes, he does.
And I think that's why Trey jumps out the window. It's like if he had said something different, I think Trey would have still been in the room. But he's just like, I'm sorry about your friend, but that's their problem. You're my problem. And it's like, Dad, you can't remove me from this situation. That was my best friend.
I would even say it's after that line. I think that's the part where the dad fights the hardest to like contain him, right? Again, I was like you said, it wasn't the perfect words, but that's not when he wins him over. I feel like he's already won him over past that part, but then he's like, go get changed or whatever. It's like, you know what I mean? You should have stayed with him. You shouldn't have said, yo, go get changed. It's cool. I'm gonna go do my own thing now. He shouldn't have done that. I feel like that was the moment where he made a mistake, in my opinion. And once he left him alone to go get changed, and it's like, what are you talking about?
That's true, but I'm just saying, I think it's a combination of what we're saying, because basically the thing is that Trey knows that his father is just trying to protect him.
Yes.
But in Trey's mind, he's like, there was no one there for Ricky. So we're just supposed to let what happened to Ricky just happen.
I hear you. But like you said,
then he's out the window and
yes,
they're driving around, and Furious is using those stress balls.
Yes. Yeah, we're in a moment of absolute tension right now. Because what I love about this is technically, if you've been like following, this is probably a movie that was written backwards. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the first scene that was written out and then everything else was backwards. Because to me, I feel like everything is building to this moment of Trey making this decision. What's he gonna do? Why is he gonna do it? Is he going to accept the life, or is he gonna do what his dad says and what his mother wants and just evolve past it? And you kind of get this thing, is the city gonna drag him back? And I think this is very unique to this movie. As it builds and you see him with the stress balls, like you said, the music is powerful, it's deep, and it's always constantly building, and with the stress balls going shh, shh, and they're getting faster, which is great work. And you're building up, and then Trey suddenly just opts out. And at first, what I like about it is they ignore him. I want out, they ignore him, but then he insists. And they all say nothing, they just let him go. No one's like, yo, stay, because even though one could argue these aren't good people, they're not, they at the same time care for Trey. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, they care for Trey.
I would say that the problem is that they're good people who constantly get stomped by their environment. There's a good person in there. Like, you got to remember, Doughboy's always been protective. That's why he even tries to fight the guys to get the ball back. Like, he initially did that for his brother. There was no reward Doughboy was going to get for getting that ball back. And then also on top of that, you hear Doughboy throughout the whole thing where he's like, I'm trying to stay out. I'm reading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a good person in there. But with bad parenting in a bad environment, that light got shunted out. So he noticed that there's light within Trey. He's always noticed there's light within Trey. That's why even when you go back to the barbecue scene, he's reluctant to connect with Trey again. He wants to have Trey's back, but he knows he's different from Trey. So that minute that Trey said he wanted out, Doughboy knew that if anybody said anything, he was going to be on their case as well, because he was just like, Trey's not us. So let's let him go.
Again, but then again, the pull you'd expect from that is that he would be accused of chickening out when it mattered most. That he'd be abandoned by the whole situation. That's what you'd expect. And
yes,
because that would be the logical response, because that's what happens in these hood cultures. You don't just get to leave. You don't get to just say no.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think the thing is, though, is that because Doughboy was reading, because Doughboy was getting more educated, because Doughboy was essentially becoming a better person, he started seeing the size of the rift between him and Trey. And also, remember, Ricky and Trey were like this. So in Doughboy's mind, Ricky was also moving away from the hood and the.
We need to do something about this mic, bro. Did you hear?
Oh, can you hear me?
We need to do something about this mic.
Oh God, can you hear me
now?
Yeah,
no, it's getting really bad, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think maybe I'm just moving too much. Anyway, I was saying Ricky and Trey were here, and both of them essentially are moving away from the hood. And remember, Doughboy, I don't know if he's the oldest, but point being is that as a dude who's known to be the man of the house, he's already seeing that Trey and Ricky are moving away from this darkness or whatever the hell it is. So in his mind, he's like, to me, Trey and Ricky are the same. So I would not ask Ricky to do this. Therefore, I will not ask Trey to do this.
Right.
That's why he didn't say you were chickening out. Like, I think the difference is that, other gang cultures or whatever, these people aren't family like that. Like, these guys are family. That's why, like, it's getting to that point where, how those old dudes in the hood will tell other young people, don't do this gang banging shit. Be a rapper, be a sports person, be a this, be a that, go be a doctor. Don't do this.
Yeah.
I think that's where Doughboy is at this point in his life, where it's like, I'll take the rap for this one. I got this. You go be somebody better.
Yeah, that's true. But I also don't think that he would have let any of the other people out the car. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. But like I said, it's because Trey, to him, that's the closest thing to Ricky. And it's like, if I ruin Trey, I ruin everything about Ricky. That's how I looked at it anyway.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, they just let him go. And then we discover that we cut back to Ricky's home, and we see that he would have passed the SATs. He got just over 700, because they mentioned specifically that he just needed 700. But we're back to the car. We're still driving. Things they're lost. They're unable to catch these guys. And then they're like, let's go eat. And that's what catches him.
Dog.
It was a brilliant idea, actually.
Turns out it was brilliant.
Yeah, but I'm saying you just wish they actually went to go get food and not do what they were about to do next, because
No, I wanted them to get revenge. But I hear what you're saying. Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, same here.
And then ironically, which I think is just fucking great filmmaking, they do the same drive-by stuff that we've been building tension towards this whole movie, where you see a car, it gets quiet, the music gets tense, except now it's a complete reversal. Now it's them. And yeah, man whips out that AK-47, that Kalashnikov, and he just guns them down. But some of them aren't dead, and they kind of abandon the drive-by part of the drive-by, and Doughboy gets out the car to personally finish them off. And it's a great, you can see that Doughboy is just cooked, man. He's just done. And he's just, yeah. Oh, dude, and the way
guy's on the ground, and then that guy's on the ground talking about, I didn't pull the trigger. But it's your fault.
Yeah, and then
I'll never understand about killers. I'm saying, I'll never understand about killers. I'm just like, don't do it then. Shit, if you're that scared, like, of course, you fall on your own sword. If you just didn't whip out the Uzi or didn't drive the red car around, you would not be here.
Exactly. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Yes.
Guilty by association.
Yep. Revenge is completed. We get Trey getting back home, and nothing is said between father and son. He just goes to sleep. And it's a new day, and we open on Trey stepping outside. Outside is Doughboy drinking early in the morning, doing a quick drug deal, and visiting Trey. This, by the way, in my opinion, is the peak of Ice Cube's acting. This is
the whole thing.
Yeah, this to me
the best scenes of the whole thing. And remember, this was his acting debut, bro. But that scene,
yes. Well, you can kind of tell that this man is, to me, with the tone and atmosphere of his talking, you can feel like, yeah, this man's voice is different to how it's been the whole movie. There's nothing tough about it. It's broken. His voice is broken. You can kind of feel like that of a broken man.
Like you can see he has a bit of light within himself, because that mom comes up to him and she's like, crack rock, and he's like, get away from me. Go be a mom and keep your baby off the street.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, they talk, and he gets this beautiful scene of him just talking about how there's a nature documentary, how these people, white people, are doing nature documentaries as if they don't know.
Well, no, he was talking about how the world is violent, and they were showing a bunch of foreign things.
Yes.
And they were showing a bunch of foreign lands that have nothing to do with where he is. And he was just like, all that talk of violence, they didn't even say anything about my brother. And it's just like that's supposed to be like a symbolism of the world will never care about the hood at all. Like always care about.
Yes, he literally says that. Yes. He says either they don't know, they don't see it, or they don't care. Which was beautiful. And yeah, like you said, the crackhead scene, yes, we'll skip that. And then I think it gets to the point where he can't do more. So Trey is like, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go. And then Trey pulls him up and hugs him, and he's like, you still have one brother. And the two cubes link.
I think because Trey also asks if you got them or whatever, and then there's like that dead silence, and then he even says, I don't even know how to feel about it, which is another like poignant, like revenge. Once you've achieved the thing, there's nothing left afterwards. And I think that was like a good, like that was Singleton just saying to everybody that watches that film, is like,
yes,
it's not a point of victory.
Thing. Yeah,
it's like it's not a point of victory. Like Doughboy didn't win; he actually lost by going for his revenge.
Yeah,
like
because
Trey and Doughboy are being contrasted right now. Trey won by not seeking revenge, in a sense.
Yeah. Definitely. That's basically one of the key points in the movie, yes. That by not choosing violence, he ended up being outside of the violence, yes. But yeah, like I said, they hug, the two cubes make a rectangle, and then they say goodbye, and we get the writing at the bottom. That says, I forgot what the first one says, but the second one says, oh no, they buried him the next day. They buried Ricky the next day, and then 2 weeks later, Trey was gunned down as well. And then
Not
the
Trey.
third
Doughboy was gunned down.
Doughboy was gunned down as well,
And I
yes.
was like, the movie had to do that. I was like, the movie had to be like, yeah, by the way, Doughboy didn't make it.
Yeah. And then they said these niggas moved to the south. And he took his girl with him, which was one of the things that was mentioned in the dialogue. And yeah, that's just the heartbreaking end of the movie.
Yeah.
Buck, do you want to do your breakdown? Your conclusion?
My conclusion. Okay, just final thoughts on this movie. Near perfect movie. I'm never gonna watch it again, by the way. Yeah. Everybody was in top form acting wise. Again, some of the best acting I've ever seen from Morris Chestnut, to be honest. Yeah. Again, and solid film, and I know like Singleton was really trying to do something, but movie can only do so much. But yeah, fantastic movie. I'll knock it down to an 8.5. It was a 9, but now that we've talked about it more and I've thought about it more, yeah, it's an 8.5. But yeah. Yeah, and it's also a stark reminder that I'm going to go hug my parents. Thank God I am not a gangster. It looks exhausting.
From my side, I would say I'd give it an 8, and the reason is that there's just scenes that didn't make sense when you thought about it holistically. John was writing as if Trey had not been there for years before the barbecue scene. For example, Ricky's girlfriend's best friend not knowing Trey doesn't make sense to me, especially if she's been chilling with those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many parts like that just didn't add up to me. It's just that I can't pinpoint them now. Like, for instance, Ricky not knowing where Furious works in 7 years. You know what I mean? Oh, this is where your dad works? So there's just moments where it just seems like, wait, was Trey with them the whole time, or did he just come back from somewhere? You know? So those are the things that just take it a bit down to an 8. But apart from that, man, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. That's why I even recommend it.
I guess I'd have to, if I ever do an analysis video, because I think I'm missing the things that you're talking about. Not that I'm saying they didn't happen. I'm not recalling them myself. But anyway.
No, he's completely right. Like, for example, he goes there every weekend, but for example, with the kids, he apparently goes there on weekends, and yet somehow they act like they have to introduce him, so they act like they don't really see him that often. Even though when it comes to weekend hanging out, I've done that before. Like I explained earlier, the conversations wouldn't go like that. But what it is it's filmmaking 101. I need to exposit the environment, and they're using that technique. So it's filmmaking techniques, as opposed to diegetic dialogue.
I think maybe if they took out the fact that he visits on the weekend, and kind of just say that that Trey disappeared for a bit, living with his mom in the high life, and then eventually felt guilty and went backwards.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. Yeah. Exactly. I also think that personally, I agree with you. I think that the middle part with the montage, bit bloated. I also think it felt like a bit of a tonal shift, because this man suddenly has high school dreams when we got such a dramatic first act and such a dramatic third act that the middle act almost feels too chilled. I don't know how to explain that properly. But again, what I'm talking about right now is such a nitpick. It's not that big a deal. in my opinion, what I consider this to be is an amazing study of atmosphere. It's something I've discussed before, where it's just about creating a solid vibe where you buy into absolutely everything that's happening. You don't even think about it because you've been sold on the setup, on the people, what they want, and you just flow with it, like you surf the movie perfectly. And I feel like that's what Singleton tried to do. And I think, in my opinion, he did a great job. Is it always great? No. Again, that middle is very fat. And like Kutso said, there's some parts there. Like the SAT stuff, that's not what an SAT classroom looks like. But again, you'd have to be a nitpicker.
But I think the thing though is that, as you said, atmosphere. So what he was trying to do was, like, he set up the atmosphere to be great so that the tragedy hit that much harder. Like that whole chill section is just calm before the storm. Because you're just like, everything is cool, and then bullets start flying and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
It was bloated, but I see what Singleton was doing.
Yes, it was there on purpose. The question is, does it win? But it still was there on purpose. It was there for a reason. It had a function of creating character and creating atmosphere. Like I said, it still worked. I wish it could have worked better. But again, not worth losing any real points over. Which is why, like I said, this thing again is so amazing. It's like a series of like huge bangs and crazy moments that you don't even think about twice. You just take it in, and it all comes together to create amazing moments of tension. Again, with the Looney Tunes flipping holes in the doors, you don't even care about that. You understand what it means. You understand what you felt when you saw it. You understand. A good example of this, when I say atmosphere, is this. There was a time when the movie Saving Private Ryan came out. I think I've mentioned this to Kutso before, where basically what happened was they played it for a bunch of military World War II veterans, and they were weeping. They were emotionally shook because to them, that's what D-Day looked like. And that's what D-Day felt like. Then they played like actual D-Day footage, and it wasn't that intense. But because they were in the moment, that's what it felt like. And that's what Singleton does perfectly in this movie. It's all these pieces coming together to create a solid web of a film that gives you a solid feel. And for that, it deserves a strong 8.5. One of my highest ratings. 8.5, I think it's great. Amazing. I recommend it to everyone.
Cool. Yeah, it's a movie you need to watch at least once in your life. It's kind of like The Godfather.
All right, cool. I guess you're gonna take us out, Extraordinary.
Guys, thank you so much. I mean, it's 12:20 from our end, wherever you're watching this as of this recording. So we do really thank you for always checking out the channel and checking out this video. And if you've made it this far, you're strong. Clearly, you are an important subscriber to us. We hope that once this channel makes it to at least 1,000, you can become a member. But anyway, Rob, thank you for the impeccable writing and flow of the story, and bringing us into all the acts and breaking it down nicely like you usually do. Buck, thanks for your contribution and coming through and truly showing me things that I'd never even considered about a lot of these characters. Like for real, you helped me solve a problem that I didn't know I could solve with Dookie and the pacifier. Anyway, guys, thanks once again for checking us out. Do like and subscribe and share the channel. There's more stuff coming your way. There's more hood movies we're going to be touching on this year. So yeah, this is Mr. Extraordinary with Rob Sibeko and Buckmeister Cool. We shall see you guys on the next one. Peace.